San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the NBA trade deadline is right now, and so far, no movement reported for your San Antonio Spurs. They did hold off the Oklahoma City Thunder last night, 116-106. Wemby with 22 points and 14 boards in the win. Up next, Spurs head to Dallas tonight to take on the Mavericks. Tip-off there set for 7:30. And Giannis is not going anywhere. The Bucks are not trading Giannis.
Live from AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row in San Francisco with coverage leading up to Sunday's big game. It's The Blitz with Jason Minix and Joe Reinagel on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And we are getting close. It's Thursday. The big game is on Sunday. Seattle and New England going to go head-to-head to finally solve the question, who's going to win? This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix out in San Francisco. Radio Row brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. And, well, Minix, the excitement is ramping up, my friend.
It really is, and this convention center space is extremely crowded today, and I think most everybody is excited that they didn't get traded by the deadline, but all probably wishing they were somewhere else at this point in the week.
Yeah, well, who knows? I mean, you want to be where the excitement is, and that's a good thing. But I tell you what, I'm getting fired up about it, more talk about it. Again, the New England disrespect continues to grow, and I'm loving it.
Well, and it's there now. A few minutes ago, the Seahawk mascot walked by, and I was doing something, so I didn't get to go get a photo with it, but I will at some point if I see the mascot again. But it's another reason why, Reinagel, the Seahawks are going to win. Do you know what the Seahawks mascot's name is?
I have no clue.
Blitz. It says Blitz on the back of his jersey.
All right.
I mean, there's another sign that you are wrong in your Super Bowl prediction.
Dude, I just can't wait. And I'm going to take pictures and video and everything else of Drake May standing on the podium holding up the Super Bowl trophy.
We will get there. We will get there. So much to get to. Exactly, Pledge. So much to get to on this day. And, but let's start, because there's plenty of football coming up, including Michael Irvin. But when you look at the trade deadline, Jeremy Sohan, by all accounts, still a Spur, right?
Yep.
I haven't seen anything.
The deadline's right now at 2 o'clock Central Time, 3 o'clock Eastern, and nothing reported yet. Now, that could trickle out here in a moment, but so far, nothing with the Spurs.
And one of the bigger holdups was who was going to make the play for Giannis, who is going to be a Buck. At least the Bucks apparently a couple hours ago made it known, we're not trading them. So you guys go take care of your business if you had something in the works if this doesn't happen, because Giannis apparently staying with Milwaukee at least through the end of this regular season.
Yeah, that's true. So that didn't go anywhere, kind of fizzled out a little bit. Now, we'll see what happens after the season is over. But you're right. Giannis is going to stay there. Kept waiting, and there was a flurry of trades right before 2 o'clock today. Just minor ones, basically, between a bunch of teams. But I kept waiting for the Spurs to do something, anything, and they have not done anything.
Is that a reflection on Jeremy Sohan and nobody wants him? Or nobody's willing to give up anything for him, or the Spurs trying to get too much for him, overvaluing what he has. But also, I think the bigger disappointment is they couldn't pull the trigger on a 3-and-D type or another big, which you could look at it a couple of different ways. How hard did they really try? I don't know. Or do they think they're not ready to compete for a championship this year, so they weren't going to mess with what they already have? Because as we know, they don't like to skip steps. And if they made a move here to help this year's team, it would be skipping a step if they don't think they're truly a championship caliber basketball team.
Well, I guess, but I'll push back on that. They're the number 2 seed in the Western Conference, the toughest conference in the NBA. And if you don't think you can win a championship being the number 2 seed, then why the hell are you playing? That makes no sense to me at all if that's what they are indeed thinking.
Well, and again, I mean, they are the 2 seed now. They're ahead of schedule. None of us thought that was going to be the case this year. But do they think they really have the ability to win a trophy this year? If the answer is yes, then, you go all in. Let's steal a line from Jerry, right? You go all in. They didn't. And they're building. And, as much as we heard, how they don't like to skip steps, making a move today would have said, all right, man, let's go try to get it this year. Are they ready? Do they think they're ready? And who knows how hard they tried, but they weren't aggressive enough just to get a deal done, that's for sure, which could also tell you maybe they didn't just truly love some of the options that they had. I mean, so many ways you could look at this, but as the trade deadline comes and goes, I am disappointed that the Spurs didn't add to this already talented roster.
Well, I'm extremely disappointed, and I will go back and I will look at that New England Patriots team. And the Spurs ought to take a look at them, too. Nobody thought the Patriots were ready this year. They went out and got a bunch of free agents, signed a bunch of guys, but they were 2 or 3 years in the works. Guess what? They're in the frickin' Super Bowl. And I just and you may be right. Maybe they just didn't see anything they liked, anything that would fit into this year's team. I don't know, but it is kind of disappointing that they didn't go and do something to improve this club's shooting. I saw it again last night, Jason. They fall in love with the three-point shot. You let an undermanned Oklahoma City squad stay with you throughout because you can't make three-point shots and you fall in love with them. And that's a problem for me, and it will be a problem for the Spurs moving forward.
The glaring need is a sniper. That sharp-shooting three-point specialist that you could rely on. They have guys that can knock them down. They're just inconsistent. They're unreliable. They need that 3-and-D. They could have used another big. And a move at the deadline would have told us all that, yep, they're going after it this year. They're not just content with, all right, let's figure out what the postseason is like. Now, we've talked about it. Are they capable of winning a championship? But I love your New England comparison. Nobody thought they would be here this year. Nobody thought Sam Darnold in his first year in Seattle would be there. The Spurs are a good basketball team, better than we all thought they would be. They didn't add to it today. And that is tell them they're content. Right now I look at this team as a second-round exit. They appear to be content with that, and that pisses me off as a Spurs fan.
Of course it does, as it should piss you off. And I kept looking all day. I've got alerts on my phone going, and I saw Sham Charania with all these reports and nothing mentioning the Spurs. It is a little bit disappointing. Look, they've got a talented squad, but there are some holes there. There's no question about it. And you've got a guy in Jeremy Sohan who's not adding anything to this ball club right now. And just to get, anything for him to move him, I think would have been outstanding. But, again, we'll never know exactly what they wanted for Jeremy Sohan. We might get an idea, but it's just a sad state. I would say not sad. It's disappointing, I think, for most Spurs fans that they didn't go out and make some sort of move today to get better.
Well, and again, the deadline is 8 minutes past. If something trickles out, all right, cool. And it would be, CIA pop-like if we were to find out in 15, 20 minutes that something got approved right at the deadline. But I'm not expecting that at this point. And if they did do something that is not earth-shaking, then I don't know. Like I thought the Spurs would do something. I mean, while I'm here on Super Bowl Radio Row in San Francisco and paying more attention to what the Spurs are doing in anticipation of, come on, let's hear, let's see what they're doing. Let's see if they are all in on this year's team.
Well, apparently not. They like what they've got, or they're not skipping steps and just don't think that they're ready yet. All of those are viable answers, I think. But the problem is, I wish they would have done something. Second in the Western Conference standings by 2 games now over the Denver Nuggets. And look, if that doesn't tell you they're ready to go, I don't know what does. They're only 5 games behind Oklahoma City right now, and with SGA out for the foreseeable future, my goodness, I don't know why that number 1 seed is not in reach at this point in time if you're a Spurs management, a Spurs player, and certainly a Spurs fan.
I'm with you. I mean, it is certainly within reach. It is worth going after to get that 1 seed. 2 seeds, great. But again, you look at, the separation between 1 and 2, but 2 and the 7, there's not a whole lot there. I mean, there's a lot to play for and a lot of reasons why they should have made some sort of move today. Like I said, I'm just disappointed that sniper that we know they need, they couldn't go find.
Well, it is too bad, but we will keep you posted if anything breaks late, something that maybe the Spurs did at the last minute. We'll keep you posted if it does break. In the meantime, we've got a lot to do there on Radio Row in San Francisco, and it all gets started with Michelle Smallman from Unsportsmanlike. Love talking to her, and we'll do that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Our AA Best Bell Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. More behind-the-scenes access is coming up next on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the big game in Silicon Valley, and the only local station bringing you exclusive wall-to-wall coverage from the Bay Area. All brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. We're live from Radio Row with insider interviews, breaking stories, and all the pregame excitement leading up to the superb hour. From the biggest names in sports to behind-the-scenes access, we've got it all. Your AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Your front row seat to the backstage action, live from the Bay Area, is 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. The big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. They have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law Fights.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-484-5131 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-484-5131. That's 800-484-5131. What do you have to lose? Call 800-484-5131. Again, 800-484-5131.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a Friday on the Morning Huddle. Last Friday of football season. We'll be digging deep into the Super Bowl, Rob.
Oh, we're talking Super Bowl, but we're talking pregame, and we'll have my personal Patronus, my favorite dude of all time, Andrew Zimmerman will join us along with others. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Our AA Best Bail Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Moe's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Oh, man, we're getting close. It is Thursday before the Super Bowl on Sunday. I'm Joe Reinagle back here in San Antonio. Jason Minix is in San Francisco, and, well, he's got one of our favorite guests of all time standing by.
Yeah, Michelle Smallman from ESPN Radio's Unsportsmanlike, joining us here on Radio Row. Now it's 12:15, 12:16 here in San Francisco. Our morning host, who's on from 4 to 8 out here, I know is fast asleep right now back at the Airbnb. Are you just running on fumes at this point? It would help. We spent all this time sitting here and never turned on.
How about now?
There we go.
Okay, good. Well, first of all, hello, guys. Testing 1, 2. Thanks for having me. No, I'm not running on fumes. I'm running on excitement. How cool is it to be here at Meteor Row? We're in San Francisco. The Super Bowl is days away. I just feel really lucky to be here, and I'm inspired by the energy in this room. You know, I love working with Evan and Cece every day. We love our studio at 7 Hudson in New York City, but we sit in a little room and just talk to each other all day. So even though my wake up time was 12:30 a.m. and my call time to set was 2 a.m. and your lucky co-host is napping, I'm taking this in because it's a really, really special to be here and see so many great sports media entities here, run into so many old friends, talk to guys like you again, and just be a part of all of this, you know?
It's exciting. Certainly it is. And I think as we get closer to the game, that excitement just kind of pumps up. I have to ask you something way off topic, though, Michelle, before we get started. How did you guys come up with your word of the day thing? I think that's genius, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. So it's like most things, organically. So over the summer, I was reading a lot of books, and I had been gifted a Kindle. And one of the features, I don't know if you guys have a Kindle, but one of the features on the Kindle is you can highlight a word if you don't know it, and the definition will pop up. So I found myself doing that a lot because if you're reading a physical book, a lot of times you'll just go past it. You won't take the time to get out your phone, Google the word. But I had this notebook at my desk, so I started writing down these different words. I was like, these are good words. And then I thought, hey, Michelle, you talk for 4 hours a day. You can use these words. So we came back from our quote unquote summer break, and I said to Rob Lorenzo, our excellent social and digital guru, I have a lot of words that I want to work into the show. And I think the first one was caterwaul, which means like loud moaning and wailing. And I go, do you think I could work this into the show in a non-weird way? He's like, why don't we try it? Let's shoot a video. So we did it the first day. And then you guys spoke to Evan Cohen, right? You know, my co-host. Nothing gets by Evan. So the second day I go to say my word, and Evan's like, I know what you're doing. You're pulling a fast one on us. You're trying to sneak in words that we don't know, and I'm going to catch you at it. I was like, well, that wasn't my intent. It was really just for me to learn something new and challenge my brain a little bit, but okay, game on.
Yeah.
And so then it just developed, and people have really taken to it. It's become like a really, really fun part of our show, interactive with our listeners and our viewers too, which is awesome.
All right, so caterwaul
Caterwaul was our first word, I believe.
There's just a lot of moaning and whining.
Wailing.
Wailing.
Like
So
if you're upset, you could hear, you know who's caterwauling? Buffalo Bills fans, because they're wondering if they missed their window.
Yes.
They have the reigning MVP until tonight in Josh Allen. And now the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl. So they are caterwauling in Buffalo. They're moaning and crying, wondering if they missed their window.
Ryan Eagle, the caterwaller. Yes, exactly. We've got it. Michelle Smallman from ESPN Radio joining us here on a Super Bowl Radio Row in San Francisco. I know we're going to talk a lot of football. And I know all of us are focused on football and not basketball. The trade deadline just happened. Can you give us a little national perspective on the San Antonio Spurs, who did nothing today to help their team?
Did you want them to do something?
I did.
What did you want them to
They
do?
need a 3-point shooter, a sniper, a 3-and-D type, or another big alongside Wemby to help protect him.
So you just give the laundry list of things you'd like, and they give you nothing.
Nothing.
And you're disappointed by
yes,
that,
I'm
obviously.
pissed off at them. Yeah.
Okay, I don't blame you. Obviously, you're very passionate about the organization. Here's what I'll tell you about the Spurs. Obviously, they're a contending team, and we really, really dive into NBA in a heavy way once football's over. Right now, we're obviously very locked into what's happening at the Super Bowl, because that's why we're all here to talk about the Super Bowl. But when I think about the NBA, Wemby is the name on the marquee. He is so electric. He's so exciting. Anytime I watch him play, I'm like, how does this happen? How does that body move like that? So I think our national perspective of the Spurs is that we're so excited about the present and the future of San Antonio based on him.
Yeah, I think the future is bright, but I'm kind of with Jason there, Michelle. I wish they would have done something today. They didn't, and that's official, by the way. We've got the word. They are standing pat. They're not going to do anything. Didn't do anything last minute before the trade deadline was over. So we'll see how that works out for them as we go through the season. I want to talk Super Bowl with you, Michelle, because you're a very smart person.
Thank you.
New England's not getting any respect at all, in my mind. Are you one of those that doesn't give Drake May and company any respect?
No, not at all. Well, I do think it could be a blowout, but no, I'm not disrespecting Drake May and the Patriots. How can you disrespect a franchise that was in the Super Bowl in 2019 with a completely different cast of characters? How can you possibly disrespect this franchise? We had a topic on Unsportsmanlike this week. They're obviously the underdog if we're talking sports books. We're like, can we ever call the New England Patriots an underdog? Ever? Even if statistically they are? They're just... they're inevitable. It's so annoying for so many fan bases that they're back. But no, I'm not disrespecting them at all, because you have Mike Vrabel, even though he's never coached in or won a Super Bowl, he's won one as a player. And I think Josh McDaniels is the ultimate X factor in this game, because in addition to Unsportsmanlike, I was fortunate enough to do some digital shows for .com, our NFL on ESPN YouTube channel, alongside Matt Sims, former NFL quarterback, and Ben Solak, our national reporter. And the last one we did before we wrapped up and I came over here was we went through this game. We looked at the Seahawks and the Patriots, and we went position group by position group and said, who has the edge? When we did coaching, Patriots had the edge. And that was no slight to Kubiak, McDonald, and what the Seahawks have going. But in almost every player category, the Seahawks have the edge. They are a really well-rounded and excellent football team. And Drake May, MVP caliber in the regular season, hasn't been that way in the playoffs. And I know he says the shoulder is fine. He's turned the corner, full participant. He's been throwing the ball. But is that shoulder an issue? And is this punishing Seahawks defense going to be able to get after him early in that game and disrupt a second-year player? And then the counter is, well, can't this Patriots defense do that to Sam Darnold? I look at the Seahawks defense, and I think that they're the best unit on the football field for this game, and I think the Seahawks are going to take it.
I'm with you. Ron Eagle and I, since it was set, have been opposite sides of this. But I think so many people that will pick New England are waiting for Sam Darnold to have a Sam Darnold moment. Mm-hmm. And until he wins one, he's going to deal with that narrative. I look at the way he played in the NFC Championship game, and this year, and to your point, player for player, Seattle's a better squad.
Absolutely. And it's funny that we still are doubting Sam Darnold, even though in the biggest moment to this point in his career in the NFC Championship game, dealing with an oblique injury, he was great. He had a great game. But I understand that, and you're right, until he wins the Super Bowl, we're going to doubt him in some way. But I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be good in this game. I have him as a Super Bowl MVP. I think Sam Darnold is going to make Jets fans cry. He's going to make 49ers fans. Well, I don't know. They have a lot of talent on that team. But Minnesota certainly. Gosh, you think about the career arc for Sam Darnold and the fact that before all the other guys in his draft class, Baker Mayfield, two-time MVP Lamar Jackson, reigning MVP until tonight, Josh Allen, that he could be the one after all these stops to be the first one in that 2018 draft class to win a Super Bowl. It's pretty special.
You know, I think it is too, even though I do like New England, Michelle. I think that.
Oh, you do?
Oh, I do, yes. I think they're going to give Darnold some trouble because that New England defense is underrated, and I think they're really
They're
good.
very good.
I think Christian Gonzalez can keep up with Smith and Jigba, and I just think it's going to be a much closer game than everybody thinks, and that's why I say the disrespect. And I've heard a lot of it. You're not the only one. Everybody I talk to says it's going to be a blowout. This is not even going to be a game, and I think they're sadly mistaken in this thing. And I think New England, with that defense, will keep them in this thing till the end.
Well, do you think that they're just going to keep them in it and they'll be competitive, or are you picking the Patriots to win?
I'm picking the Patriots to win.
Wow.
Are you picking be honest, you picking the Patriots to win or cover because you put some money down as soon as it was set? You're talking about your wallet at this point.
Either way.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I'm going to be in good shape, so it's fine. If it's a 3-point outcome Seattle, then I'm okay with that. But no, I honestly think they have an opportunity to win this thing. And you're right, Drake May hasn't played well, but I think he's due for one. And I love their offensive coordinator. I think he's going to have a game plan that might give that defense some fits.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels is critical in this for Drake May. We think about the best offensive coordinators really in this era of football. He's the guy, right? He's one of the guys, if not the guy, who's done it before. And we talked a lot on Unsportsmanlike throughout the season about the art of play calling. I think because of Kevin Patullo and the Eagles, them as the reigning champs, the way that offense never found its rhythm. We talked a lot about how you can give an offensive coordinator the paintbrush and the same palette, but that doesn't mean they're going to be able to paint the same picture. And who can paint a masterpiece better than Josh McDaniels? He's been there. He's done that. He's going to know when to unlock that explosive play, because that's what the Patriots are going to need to do. They're going to have some big explosive plays to really disrupt and penetrate the Seahawks defense. He's going to know when to utilize Drake May's legs here. He's going to know what play to call and when to call it, and that could be really, really critical in the Patriots having success in this game.
Michelle Smallman from ESPN Radio's Unsportsmanlike with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. The awards are tonight. Hall of Fame class will be announced tonight. Will the story be more about the two that don't get in versus who actually does get?
Oh, my gosh. Absolutely. We are going to talk about Kraft and Belichick not getting in way more than anybody who does, which is a shame. It's a shame for those who have earned that honor. And arguably the greatest moment of their football careers being enshrined in football immortality and being able to take their place amongst the legends in this game. And it stinks that it's going to be marred or minimized in any way, because we're going to relitigate Belichick and Kraft and Spygate and Deflategate, and people are going to want to yell about it, and other people are going to want to say, well, there's an asterisk. And I really do think it's a shame that that's even going to be part of the story. As somebody who does this nationally, of course, I understand why it's important that we talk about it, but I do think that it's going to overshadow in a way the guys that have earned this honor.
Michelle, appreciate you stopping by. I know it's already been a long day for you, and I don't know what point do you get to go nap or do something fun during Super Bowl week, go to one of the great parties, but get
I'll
some
probably
rest.
nap in like an hour.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you for stopping
having
by.
me, guys.
Appreciate it. Michelle Smallman from ESPN Radio's Unsportsmanlike, which of course you can listen to over on ESPN San Antonio AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Always good stuff with Michelle Smallman. She knows her stuff, and she's a lot of fun to talk to. I enjoy that. And other than her being a Seattle supporter, she is a St. Louis Cardinal fan. So I can't hold it against her too much.
Well, and again, of course, the idea though, and I know you're trying to find some people on your side when it comes to the Patriots. And, and I do think, though, she brought up a great question. Are you thinking Patriots win or Patriots cover? Because that's a different conversation.
Yeah, but again, look, it's only a 4.5-point spread, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a 3-point game, it's a 3-point game. Either way, I'm good. But I honestly think this New England team can win. They have the better coaching staff. That's for sure. I don't think there's any debate there. You can argue quarterbacks. Darnold's got the experience. I think the Patriots have more offensive talent overall than the Seahawks do. And I just don't see this being a blowout like everybody else is saying. And, yeah, I give the Patriots a real opportunity to come out on top and win this game.
Well, I'll tell you, the one person that I know that has taken the Patriots, and I don't know the guy. He was an Uber driver yesterday, and an Uber driver that said he spent $6,600 on a ticket to go to the game.
Wow.
And he put, and again, he's driving Uber, but this is what he was telling us. Erica was in the car. She heard this. A lot of money on the Patriots. And I was like, well, why? He's a 49er fan. He hates Seattle. and so, he's hoping that his bet will ultimately help pay for that Super Bowl ticket because he's like, it's here. It's the one time I might be able to go. And so he's spending the money to go, but rooting against Seattle because he hates them as a 49er fan and refuses to think they can celebrate in their home stadium.
Well, see, here's a great idea now, and I don't know how serious I should take this because it is from Eagle Fan on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. It says I'm trying to talk myself into a Patriots win. Jason, just tell everybody how long have I been on the Patriots?
Honestly, you have been on the Patriots since the regular season.
All right.
You were Patriots Rams for the longest time. So you're same reason with me in Seattle. I thought Seattle had a chance to go, and that's kind of the cool thing. Now, I thought Buffalo would be there from the AFC side of things, but you and I both kind of are. Well, my NFC and your AFC Super Bowl winner has been there since probably late November, early December.
I just think this is a good team. It's a lot better than people are giving it credit for. And I understand why. I mean, Sam Darnold had the game that he had the other day, but can he put two of those together? It remains to be seen. And, gosh, Drake May's due, is he not? He hasn't played well in the playoffs. Man, we kicked it off with a bang with Michelle Smallman, and it's only going to get better from here. How about Doug Flutie? That's right, the Doug Flutie. He's going to join us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Our AA Best Bell Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. More behind-the-scenes access is coming up next on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars $50K Big Game Giveaway. Predict the exact score of the big game in Santa Clara, California, and you could score $50,000. Make your predictions now at sasportstar.com. The $50K Big Game Giveaway, brought to you by Dietz Tractor. Score big with Dietz Tractor in Seguin and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
For people who are confused, we buy the cars from the public and then we sell them at auction. And on line 9, I have Terrence. Terrence, try to do that.
Oh
my God. It's perfect, Terrence.
Yeah, I'll call Vista, baby.
Okay, thank you, Terrence.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed. Shop now for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Order Smoky Mo's Texas Barbecue for your big game watch party. For a limited time, the rib pack is available just for the big game with 3 pounds of mouth-watering ribs and home-style sides of your choice. Feed your crowd with game day favorites. For 26 years, Smoky Mo's has created craft-level barbecue with great neighborhood value. Smoky Mo's is great Texas barbecue served fast and friendly with 8 convenient locations in San Antonio. Stop by or order Smoky Mo's for pickup or delivery at SmokyMo'sBBQ.com.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cash back app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and you can get up to a $5 cashback bonus on your first tank.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SUPPLY to get up to a $5 cashback bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SUPPLY to get up to a $5 cashback bonus on your first tank. That's code SUPPLY for up to a $5 cashback bonus.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, March 30th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $150 per person or $500 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting fitting animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and Ancira.com. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, March 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. Our AA Best Bell Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you're having a great Thursday, whatever you're doing, however you are doing it. Glad you stopped by to spend a little time with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle here in San Antonio. Out in San Francisco, Jason Minix is manning the post there on Radio Row. And we're expecting Doug Flutie to come join us here in a few minutes, and looking forward to that conversation.
Doug Flutie is the biggest 10-year-old on planet Earth. It will be a lot of fun to talk with Doug Flutie and just to give people kind of a visual of what it's like in this convention center. And, you know, Monday was, all right, move-in day. Tuesday was kind of busy. Yesterday was really busy. Today it's insane, the amount of people that are here in trying to walk from point A to point B. And what I don't understand, and I know we've talked about this, kind of the cluster F of some of what they've got going on. The entrance to this convention center room that we're in is to my right. And they have a couple of big like TV things set up where when like I was trying to go to the restroom earlier and Trevor Lawrence was doing some sort of video shoot over there and you couldn't get through the area. It's dumb. And, you know, like the congestion at the entrance exit, and they put a coffee stand over there with lines like you're at a Starbucks. And so everybody's going to be late today just because it is hard to get from point A to point B in this small space.
Well, that's okay. We've got nowhere to be, nothing to do. We'll wait on Doug Flutie. I think he's earned that respect. So whenever he sits down, we'll have that conversation with him.
Now, hang on. Now, I can see Doug Flutie from where I am.
All right.
And there's a TV reporter, Reinagle, wearing there's a reason why he stopped, and he's visiting with her right now. I'll just leave it at that. I respect it. I'll just say that.
Well, he does do that commercial with Frank Thomas with the help your thing, stand at attention.
Yeah.
So maybe that's kicking in. Who knows?
Yep.
You're looking to grab the
his
knob.
handler's like, "Are you ready?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're ready."
Yeah, we're ready.
We're ready.
And Flutie's like, "No."
Yeah, exactly. He'll and again, I don't blame him one bit. Not one.
Well, I hope she makes her way over there because the rest of us would like to enjoy what you're enjoying, Minnick.
Did you say something, Joe?
Yeah.
Sorry. And now fans are getting pictures with him.
Oh, my goodness.
Doug Flutie is such a rock star, but he is working his way over here as we speak. We'll get him set up and set in that first chair right here. Here we go. Maybe I thought he was there. He's got to come around the corner. And again, another reason why he stopped, and I get that as well. It's live radio on Radio Row in San Francisco, and it truly is part of the deal. I mean, there's just so many different things that are going on, and the distractions, my friend, today. You know, I can say it feels like as the week has gone longer, the skirts have gotten shorter here on Radio Row.
There's nothing wrong with that, my friend. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Depending on who's wearing those skirts, as long as they're, they look good in them.
Well, I don't know that I would have pointed it out if that wasn't the case.
Well,
I
never know because we can't see it, Minix. You know.
Well, I mean, look, there are cameras everywhere. I mean, this is how it goes. What is up, Doug Flutie? How are you, man?
I'm doing
good seeing you. I'm Jason. Joe Reinagel's back in San Antonio, and I was just telling him, you were on your way over here, and a lovely TV reporter stopped and asked you some questions, and I don't blame you for stopping to talk to her.
I didn't know that. I don't know. I just get pushed in the direction, and I go. Mike gets thrown in your face. You start answering questions.
Yeah, there you go. But again, I don't blame you. I was talking. A friend of mine who used to be a teammate of yours, Mike Gieselak, posted some photos with you about a week ago on Facebook, and I was like, "Dude, Doug's going to be on my show in a week," and he's like, "Biggest 10-year-old I know."
No doubt, that's me. We played together in Toronto, and he was our center, and was like offensive lineman of the year 2 years in a row, whatever it was, and some Grey Cups together. I don't know. I get up in the morning, I serve. I still play adult league baseball. Just played a baseball tournament last weekend. Playing a flag football game tonight. I'm 63 years old. I got a walker and a cane. I got to put my teeth in the morning.
Yeah.
That's just always been who I am. I love competing and being outdoors, and the competition stuff is more about the camaraderie with guys and having that team feel and being in with the guys. And, we compete, we try to win, but it's just been. I've been blessed. I got a new knee this year, so I was like reborn. It's just been fun.
Doug, it's interesting that you say that because watching you in your entire career, and you could tell you're a competitor, but you always look like you're having more fun than anybody else that was on the field with you.
I'll tell you that I did. That was my sanctuary was the football field. I was a quiet, shy kid, but the place where I was equal with even the older kids was on the field. I could outrun them. I was quicker. I could play, whatever the sport was. And that's where I was most comfortable. I was never comfortable in a social setting when I was young. I was always the quiet kid. And I had to come out of my shell once you start, getting in the limelight a little bit and doing all the interviews, and you've got to be that personality. But that was always me. So I was always most comfortable. And that that was my playground. You get out there and just let it rip.
It's interesting as you say that, Doug, because obviously you're seemingly very comfortable in this setting now. Maybe not. Maybe inside.
No, just when I was young.
But also, I mean, you were playing at a Super Bowl party in Miami. I think we saw your band playing, and you were the drummer. It was great. It was a rooftop place. It was beautiful until it started pouring down rain.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. But I mean, just the band. But being a drummer, you're a quarterback. You should have been like front and center, but you were behind the drum kit.
It's actually the band's playing a couple NFL sanctioned events. We're playing the NFL tailgate party on Sunday, and we play Taste of the NFL on Saturday. All day we'll be playing, and that is to help eliminate youth hunger, and for 1 in 5 students is afflicted by having hunger and need of food. So all the benefits go to
Gen Youth.
Yeah, thank you.
It's right there on your head.
I've been talking all day.
Yeah, I got you.
Gen Youth. So appreciate people if they come on out and support it.
Well, Doug, have you always been interested in music, or is this something that you took up later in life?
I have. My dad had a dance band. He had a 10-piece dance band when I was a little kid. I remember being 2-3 years old, sitting on the steps, listening to his band rehearse. I always fooled around on piano keyboards. There was always an organ in the house. And then I started playing drums at 12, and that kind of took over. But then we started jamming. I was in my 20s. My brother played a little guitar. We'd jam and have guys come over, but nothing serious. And the guys started saying, hey, this sounds better than most of the bands we play with. And it took about 10 years for them to talk me into start playing out, but then we started playing out.
And now it's kind of fun, a little bit of a job. But like I said, everything you do is fun.
If it's not, I said this when I retired, if it's not fun, I'm not doing it. And that was my motto. And it is. It's pure fun. You don't get beat up and you never lose. So I think when we first started playing, it was a little stressful, and now it's just pure fun.
Doug, I've got to ask you a question, and not to bring up years past, but one of the most memorable moments in sports is the Hail Mary. That was 1984. Is that hard to believe?
What's hard to believe is it's over 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. And if you told me at that age to look back, like it seems like yesterday, just a few years ago we did that.
Yeah.
If you talked to me at that age and talked about 40 years prior, they're still doing World War II, Hitler, all that. That would seem like centuries before I was born, right? No, it's only 40 years before that. So 40 years forward, it's amazing how time flies. But it's one of those moments that people remember. And I always say this, you get tired of talking about it. No, because at least people remember something. Remember a moment in time. It's a special bond with that group that we did. We were finished, I think, third in one poll and 4 in the other nationally at Boston College. So it was a pretty cool time.
Yeah, very cool time. Doug Flutie joining us here on the Blitz on Radio Row. And you think about your Hail Mary, think about the original with Roger Staubach and Drew Pearson. And, I know Drew still makes a living, and he'll tell me.
Did he push off?
Yeah, no, he didn't push off. Just ask him.
Ask him.
He didn't push off, but he's like, Roger will just sign something, and Drew's the one that has to sign it and then write Hail Mary and all the inscription and all that. Yeah. I mean, that it's the difference between the quarterback and the wide receiver.
I had a podcast a few years ago and had Roger on, and I love and idolize Roger Staubach. And he always had a little, I had heard that he had a little chip about the fact that I was getting credit for the Hail. He was the one that coined the phrase. Yeah. No doubt about it. Back then, that was just Hail Mary, threw it up. His was just a go route, and he misplayed by the DB, and Drew pulls it in. And was it an orange?
It was an orange.
It was an orange, and everybody thought that I thought there was a flag on the play.
Yeah,
and I loved it because I was a big Roger Staubach fan at that time.
I think everybody was. Certainly in this part of the country, we're Cowboy fans, and Roger Staubach is always going to be a hero. Without a doubt. Let's talk a little Super Bowl, Doug, if you will. I'm wondering, and I've been on a mission trying to find somebody that believes like me that actually New England has a chance to win this game. Are you in with me, or are you somewhere else?
Let me take you back to the Patriots. I think it was their first Super Bowl win where they get the tuck rule in the snow. Ugly win. Kick the field goal in the snow. Then they get to the Super Bowl against the Rams, who are supposed to blow them out. Greatest show on turf. And what happens? They play Patriot football. They find a way at the end of the game, bang, win the ball. That's what this all feels like to me. With Mike Vrabel, this team believes. They're not exceptionally explosive. They're not this, they're not that. They are a team that believes. And Drake May, a quarterback, Drake makes the play. The last win was scrambling for a few first downs, in the snow, doing whatever it took. And that just seems like the MO for this team. So I'm giving them more than a chance. I give them a chance to be right there down the wire and find a way to pull it out.
I'm opposite. I'm on Seattle for this one. And partly, I want Sam Darnold to change the narrative completely, and the only way for him to do that is to win the Super Bowl. Everybody's waiting for Sam Darnold to have the Sam Darnold moment, and but I like Seattle. I like the position by position. I'm not anti-New England, but in this matchup, I just really like Seattle. But when you look at a guy like Sam Darnold, you watch quarterbacks differently than most people do because you played the position at such a high level. What have you seen in his game that has changed from when he first got into the league to what you're seeing now?
Well, number one, he has a running game, so he can do the play action stuff and have an opportunity to just go through progression, read, and get the ball down the field. Early in his career, he ran into trouble because he's on bad football teams.
Yeah.
He ran into trouble because he's trying to win and getting pressure and trying not to give up on a play, and you're going to wind up throwing interceptions. And I've said this: if I've thrown 5 interceptions in a game, I'm going to throw 6 because we need to score points, right? I gotta there are a lot of guys in this league that once the game's out of reach or you're down by a score or 2, they take their completions, take a 20-yard completion before the half and get in the locker room instead of throwing for the end zone and getting an interception. Sam's not that guy. Sam's the guy that's going to try to win that game. We're down 3 scores with a minute and a half to go. I'm going to air it out, and it's to try to. So that's where those interceptions come. Yeah, I had more than my share of bad interceptions. You learn to give up on plays, and you get better, more confident in your progressions and timing and all that as the years go on. But even last year, he won 14 games. You're going to lose a football game once in a while, people. Why Minnesota gave up on him, I have no idea. Even if he were to throw 3 interceptions in the Super Bowl, does that mean he's a bust? He's a bust. He won 14 games last year. He's turned on a whole new team, go 14 regular season, get all the way to the Super Bowl, and you get beat. There's no shame in that. Now, I want Sam. I would love it for Sam to win a Super Bowl and to win this Super Bowl. That would be great. I mean, I am a Patriots fan, but I'd love it for him. And just all of a sudden, if he doesn't win this game, he's a bum. I cannot stand. There's so many platforms for people to badmouth, and they love to do it.
Yeah, there's no question about that. I'm with you there. If
I went on a little rant there, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
if Seattle wins this game, I'm going to be happy for Sam Darnold. Don't get me wrong. I think he deserves a lot more respect than he's getting. I've got to ask you, though, Doug, you're talking about interceptions. Do quarterbacks sometimes, are they overconfident when it comes to their arm and just believe you can fit it into any window that's out there?
Some guys, yes. Some guys I have seen that are just big arm guys and stick it in tight windows. But the ball that Matthew Stafford threw, it was like a short corner route or a comeback. It was out on the boundary. I never would have. Number one, I couldn't make that throw. Number two, I may not have ever attempted that throw. He put it inches over and underneath defender's fingertips, right on the sideline, perfectly placed to a tightly covered receiver. Bang for a huge first down in that game. And I'm like, that is just a big time throw. And there are guys that can do it. So if you can do it once or twice, you feel like you can do it all the time. And occasionally that fingertip gets on it, boom, it's tipped off the shoulder pad up in the air or whatever. So you've got to have that kind of confidence or you don't make big plays. But yes, you do need to know your limitations.
Doug Flutie here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Your rant on quarterbacks. I can't wait to ask you this. We're Cowboys. We're in Cowboys country. Cowboys affiliate. Dak Prescott.
Amazing. I went and I was just with the Dallas station. I like the days where Dak is on and the receivers are running. It's like greatest show on turf. It's just they're slinging it around. These guys should score 60 points. It looks like it's effortless. It was absolutely amazing. CD Lamb and
George Pickens.
I'm like, holy mackerel, these guys are amazing. And then defensively couldn't tackle anybody, couldn't stop anyone for a while. And then there's these days where the team doesn't move the ball. They got on a little roll mid-season where it looked like they were getting it going. And I'm like, they're as dangerous as anyone in the league. So Dak, he's phenomenal. I don't know what the consistency problem is with the team. He's an amazing quarterback. He makes throws I couldn't make. And I don't know. I don't know what it, I've got a buddy that's a diehard Cowboys fan, and he just cries to me every week.
I understand.
Yeah, you guys get it.
Yeah, absolutely,
we do. We do.
Oh. We do.
Because you see it, right? You see the brilliance. You see that it's like unstoppable. And then all of a sudden the next week, 3 points or whatever.
Well, or the interception. I mean, there's, you go back to that Green Bay playoff game that many Cowboy fans, including me, aren't over. He's the reason they have a chance to win, but then the reason they don't win.
You got the ball in your hands every play, and you can't be 100%. You're going to make the big plays. You're going to have some bad plays happen. You just got to minimize them. Just got to minimize them and hope they don't happen at the wrong time.
Tell us about Taste of the NFL and what you're doing with them, because that's one of the best parties of Super Bowl week.
All proceeds of it's an amazing party. Chefs from around the world, food from all over the place, wine, and especially being in wine country, that's a big part of it this year. Our band will be playing the event, but all the proceeds go to Gen Youth for feeding youth and to solve youth hunger. 1 in 5 students is malnutrition or does not have access to food at home. So it's a major problem in the U.S., and that's Gen Youth on board trying to solve that problem. But the party is one of the best of the NFL, puts out all week and rave about it. It's food from it. And I'm going around with Andrew Zimmerman, who's world famous chef, and he's talking about all the I'm like, give me some pizza, give me some pasta, I'm good. Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm going to culture you. So he's trying to culture me up a little bit.
Yeah, don't. I mean, he might serve you some stuff that you don't even know what animal it is.
That's my problem.
You got to be careful with that, dude.
If I don't know what it is, he was talking about Ethiopian food in third world countries, and I'm like, does it come in a microwavable package, and can you put it in a...
Yeah, be careful with Andrew, because you might eat something or don't ask, and maybe never ask.
No, I told Andrew what I do is I go to a food station where I know I like it, and it's my go-to. I'm not a sampler. I'm not going to try the others. I'm pretty meat and potatoes, cut and dry.
Yeah, but they might look like sliders. That ain't a cow.
You're right. They're gonna spice it up on me.
Yeah, absolutely. Doug Flutie, appreciate you stopping by, man. Have fun.
Pleasure.
Have fun playing with the band on Saturday.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Appreciate you stopping by.
Appreciate it.
All right, Doug Flutie. Love talking to that guy, and you're right. He's just a big kid. He just has fun wherever he goes. That's for sure. Good talking to him. Just getting started again. We've got a whole list of guests that are going to be stopping by there with Jason on Radio Row there in San Francisco. And I'm looking at the next guest, and it's got to be a misprint. This is not true, is it? Dalton Schultz?
I mean, that's what's on the schedule.
Who does he play for?
Formerly of the Dallas Cowboys.
Formerly of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Dalton Schultz. I'm actually looking forward to that. Dalton Schultz joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And, of course, out here in San Francisco, getting ready for Sunday's big game. It is the biggest game, and it is right around the corner. You want to get in on all the action, you can with Underdog. Your chance to make some picks and win money, and playing on Underdog is easy. You just head over to the app and look at various projected stats, and you choose higher or lower on stats. Interesting just now talking with Doug Flutie, and, Drake May's passing yards is one thing, but I've been watching the projected stat for his rushing yards, because I think Drake May will have more of an impact, or, if you're trying to win money, looking at those rushing yards. JSN and his receiving yards, kicking points are always a big thing. And at Underdog, they've got new promos dropping daily in the app. So you like making picks and winning money? Underdog is the place to be. What are you waiting for? Download the Underdog app today. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5 on fantasy. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Our AA Best Bail Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. More wall-to-wall coverage leading up to Sunday's big game continues next on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You're riding with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Big games, weekend trips, last-minute plans. February gets busy. That's why Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits is opening their doors to new furry family members this month. With over 6,000 feet of indoor play space, 5 outdoor play yards, and fully trained staff supervising your pup's every move, your dog stays happy, safe, and active while you're away. Add grooming, training, and special one-on-one time to make every day, every stay unforgettable. Call 210-750-1298 today. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits.
Big tax changes this year could mean a bigger refund, and Jackson Hewitt knows how to get you your biggest. You'll get $100 just to try us. That won't make you filthy rich, but definitely gas plus groceries rich. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back, which would make you low-key loaded. Or at least wealthy adjacent? Go with our trusted pros and get $100 to switch. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-216-1635 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-216-1635. That's 800-216-1635. What do you have to lose? Call 800-216-1635. Again, 800-216-1635.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the NBA trade deadline has come and gone, and the Spurs are standing pat. They did absolutely nothing. They are back in action tonight in Dallas to take on the Mavs. Tip-off there set for 7:30. San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams will face off against each other in the first NFL regular season game in Melbourne, Australia during this upcoming season. Date and time of that game will be announced at a later date.
Live from San Francisco, it's The Blitz, broadcasting from AA Best Bell Bonds Radio Row ahead of Sunday's game. Here's Jason Minix and Joe Reinagle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
All right, back here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Glad to have you along on this Thursday afternoon. I'm Joe Reinagle. Out in San Francisco is Jason Minix, and got an update on Dalton Schultz, Jason.
Yeah, they're a little behind schedule, so we're sliding them 10 or 15 minutes, give or take. We'll see.
Well, that's about right. No offense.
Yeah,
it's always about 10 or 15 yards behind.
I mean, you stop. I mean, Ryan Eagle, this one's going to be fun.
Absolutely,
I mean, the cluster that is this place, and how seemingly behind everybody is, and even just like getting in today, the security line to get in was about triple what it was before, which made me wonder who's coming today, because security today was unlike any other day for security getting in, not only the lines but everything that they were doing. So who the hell knows? But he's stacked up and running behind. At least they communicated that they're running behind, and so we'll just roll with it.
Yeah, because a lot of those people, in my experience, will not tell you that. They just show up when they show up, and that's for sure. So it gives us an opportunity to talk a little Spurs, Jason. Spurs played Oklahoma City last night, and obviously none of the starters played for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And yet it was only a 10-point game. And I say that, and we talked about it yesterday, that sometimes teams like that will give you trouble. But again, I know a win is a win is a win, but to me, it's kind of a disappointing win because they let them hang around the entire game.
Well, I will admit I watched none of that game last night, but I was at after dinner we went to Shannon Sharp Super Bowl party, and I ran into a good friend Doug Kazarian, who's a gambling guy, former ESPN gambling guy, is now doing it for other platforms. And Doug was like, "Man, did you see that number? Did you get it when it was at 9.5? Because it jumped all the way to 12.5, and of course they won by 10." And I was like, "Only 10?" I mean, because they should have won that game going away, and they didn't. So depending on where you got the number, you are happy or unhappy with the win.
Well, I couldn't. Even a degenerate like me couldn't bet on that game. So I just watched it and watched just what was going on, because you just never know. But what irritated me about that game is the Spurs, again, the much better team. Because look, Dylan Harper or Steph Castle played. The Spurs were pretty much almost 100% capacity. They were ready to go, with the exception of Jeremy Sohan. And still, Oklahoma City just hung around. And it kills me how the Spurs team falls in love with the three-point shot, even when they're not making it. And that is what allowed Oklahoma City to hang around.
And that is one of the reasons why I was so hoping at the deadline today that they would pull the trigger and try to bring in a sniper. Now, maybe they tried and they just couldn't get a deal done. That's certainly a possibility. You always hear GMs talk about all the deals that never ultimately happened that they work on. But if you really want it, you figure out a way to make it happen. And they didn't figure out a way to make it happen at the deadline today. And last night, a prime example, if they're shooting threes in a game in April or May like that, they're going to lose. That could cost them a series. Now, last night, a little bit tough and we talked about it on the show yesterday. As soon as we saw Oklahoma City was punting the game, mentally, was there going to be a letdown? And Steph Castle said, yeah, it was tough getting up for the game last night, knowing that nobody from Oklahoma City that mattered was playing in the game.
Yeah, it's tough. Getting our minds prepared, preparing to shoot around to play against those guys, and not being like that. It's tough to come out there, but we still got it done. Whatever five is on the court for them, I feel like that's still a good team, well coached team. So I feel like we just had to come out with the same energy regardless.
But unfortunately, that was not the case. The same energy, and again, I think these guys admit that, Jason. It's like, hey, we got a night off, basically, and I think that's what happened. Now, on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, we've got Omar saying he was at the game and Mitch was trying different lineups, trying to let the bench players play a little bit more. All that's fine, I guess. Take care of business. Knock this team out in the first half and then play whatever you want. I just don't like the fact that this was a game deep into the fourth quarter, and it shouldn't have been.
Well, and I'm with you there. And I know, there could have been some funky lineups there. And Mitch Johnson did say after the game, there are some challenges when you're playing a team that's punting.
I think that it's fair to typically have an expectation of teams, just in terms of, because you gain a rhythm of who they have, and obviously there's availability and changes sometimes of lineups and whatnot. But I think when you play a team as much as we have, we played this team now 5 times in under 2 months, you're used to seeing patterns, whether that's personnel, plays, style of play. And when you have such a stark contrast to what you are used to, that's different. I guess that could be a challenge. But again, I think our challenge is continuously playing each golf course the same, no matter where we're playing.
Yeah, pretty good analogy, I guess. They're playing the same golf course. But again, I think it's a young team that needs to learn how to play like champions. And again, they got the win, and I'm obviously happy about that. It would have been a disaster had they not. I just feel like this team, number 2 seed in the Western Conference, you've got an Oklahoma City team coming in here that 5 starters are not playing. And props to the rest of the Thunder. They played hard last night. There's no question about it. But you've got to put your foot on these guys' necks and get them the hell out of there, and don't give them any reason to believe they can win a game in the fourth quarter. And the Spurs gave the Thunder a reason to believe in the fourth quarter.
And again, we see it far too often in the NBA. An undermanned team gets a win because the guys that are on the court finally get a chance to play, and they want to get that good tape out there, and the opposing team has that natural letdown. That's why I thought that last night's game, as much as, I mean, it was a win. They got the W, and when it's all said and done, that is what mattered. But this team has too much of a pattern this year of playing down or up to their level of competition instead of always playing at their level. And they've got to learn how to play at their level all the time. Now, it was also kind of a weird night in the NBA, and I imagine throughout the league, not just in the San Antonio game, with the trade deadline today of guys wondering, are they going to be there? Jeremy Sohan on the injured list again, and they can't put him on the injured list because we don't want him to get hurt right before the deadline. But even Mitch Johnson talked about how difficult it was to kind of manage around the trade deadline.
I haven't given it much thought. Obviously,
liar.
Not that I'm ignorant to the trade deadline being here, but to that question in that way, I do think it's just a weird part of the year for everybody. Regardless to what your personal situation is, I think everybody gets a little uneasy around this time because change can be hard, and sometimes it's expected and sometimes it's unexpected, and sometimes people expect one thing and it's totally different. We've seen that in this league every year numerous times. And so I think hopefully, in my experience at least, the relationships and the people transcend the jerseys we wear or the organizations we work for. And hopefully anybody that doesn't feel that way, I hope they do get to experience that, because it's a heck of a league and a lot of really good organizations out here. So I understand the uneasiness.
Because nobody was playing for Oklahoma City. It's one of those games, and I'm happy we're sitting here talking about a win. Spurs are within 5 games now of Oklahoma City. And with SGA out through the All-Star break, he'll be reevaluated after they come back. There's an opportunity for the Spurs to really close the gap against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I don't see any reason why not, that the mindset should be getting that number 1 seed. I mean, you've already shown OKC that you own them this year. Go overtake them and grab that number 1 seed.
I'm with you, which is why I'm so disappointed that the Spurs didn't do anything today at the trade deadline, that they didn't bring in that 3-point shooter, that 3-and-D guy, a sniper, a reliable 3-point shooter, or some protection for Wemby. And by all accounts, Sohan's still a Spur. Kelly Olynyk didn't go anywhere. Those were 2 names that were out there. So there's no departures, but nobody incoming for some help on a team that is proven to be ahead of schedule, better than what anybody thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season. It's February. You're the 2 seed. The 1 seed is within grasp. Go for it. And they didn't do anything.
I totally agree with that. And again, behind the scenes, who knows? Maybe they did try and there was just nothing there that they wanted to commit to. I don't know. They've got a good team. I'm of the opinion this team is not good enough to win an NBA championship, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm dead wrong about that. But I just think they've got another year or 2 in front of them to develop and grow up a little bit. This is if not the youngest team in the NBA, it's got to be damn close to being that. And so I think they've got a lot to learn. And games like last night are a learning experience where you've got to get that done. And, well, fortunately, they won the game. That's the good news.
So, and that's it. When it's all said and done, we're not going to remember this one because it was a win. This doesn't go into a bad loss category, and they have way too many in the bad loss category. That was a win, and that's what they needed to do. It wasn't pretty. You're not going to write home about it, but ultimately, at least they didn't lose. Could you imagine if they'd have blown that game last night?
Oh, my gosh. They tried. They tried.
No, they tried. They failed at losing.
Yes, they tried to blow it, and it drives me insane watching a Spurs game, and watch them just jack up three-pointer after three-pointer after three-pointer, and they all clank off the back, and the other team just sneaks back into the ball game, and that's what happened last night. So, craziness. Jason Minix is out in San Francisco, if you can't tell. If you're watching on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, you can certainly tell that. He's out there on Radio Row expecting Houston Texan tight end Dalton Schultz any minute. So let's take a break. We'll get that out of the way and visit with Dalton Schultz when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Our AA Best Bell Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. More wall-to-wall coverage leading up to Sunday's big game continues next on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Big Game Giveaway. Predict the exact score of the big game in Santa Clara, California, and you could score $50,000. Make your predictions now at sasportstar.com. The 50K Big Game Giveaway, brought to you by Dietz Tractor. Score big with Dietz Tractor in Seguin and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The Headline Blitz is brought to you by Novo Brazil Brewing Company, San Antonio's newest sports watching destination with over 60 feet of LED video walls and 80 craft beers and kombucha on tap. Novo is attached to North Star Mall and open late hours to serve you. If you haven't checked out the new Novo Brazil Brewing Company attached to North Star Mall, what are you waiting for? We're talking craft beers and kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, 8 massive LED screens. This is San Antonio's newest sports watching destination. It's Novo Brazil Brewing Company's first Texas location and is conveniently attached to North Star Mall and open late hours to serve you. Fresh Novo Poke Nachos, Picanha Prime Sirloin, burgers, and more. Novo Brazil Brewing Company. Go to novobrew.com. That's novobrew.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Free products and services are the best. They're next to non-existent, though. But the next best thing does exist. Barter. Alamo Barter. Right here in San Antonio, if you have a business and provide a product or service, you can barter with hundreds of other businesses that are already members. From trips to a medical visit, restaurants, and home services, Alamo Barter is a great way for you to trade out your skills with others. Call Alamo Barter or visit them online at alamobarter.com. alamobarter.com.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You can swirl it, you can sip it, but the best way is to share it.
Hey y'all, I'm Deanna, a team member at my local Chick-fil-A. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and new frosted sodas and floats is how well they go together. You get that bold flavor of the Coke mixed with the smooth deliciousness of the vanilla ice cream. You have a juicy filet and a smooth, creamy float. It's an awesome pairing.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and a new frosted soda and float at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant. Real team member paid for their testimonial.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Flu season has arrived, and according to the CDC, doctors' visits due to flu symptoms are the highest in 30 years. You can trust Exergen's new TAT 2000C Plus to give you accurate and reliable temperature readings for the whole family with just a gentle forehead scan. The Exergen thermometer technology has been proven accurate by more than 100 published clinical studies. And right now, the new Exergen TAT 2000C Plus is available on Amazon for less than $20. That's Exergen, EXERGEN, on Amazon. Visit Amazon.com for Exergen today.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Round up your foursome, your work crew, your weekend golf buddies, even the ladies, and get ready for a fun, laid-back day at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, March 30th. Lock in a team for just $500 for a foursome, or jump in solo for $150 per player and spend the day talking trash, crushing drives, and laughing your way around the course. This isn't a stuffy golf club tournament. It's golf the way it should be. The Spring Golf Classic benefits feeding animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, so you're having a great time for a great cause. Presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Shun Club, and Ancira.com. And when the last putt drops, the day is just getting started. Join us for the after party at the 90 Proof Bar at Lucky Ranch Road and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and all the post-round storytelling you can handle. So pick your team, claim your spot, and tee up with San Antonio's Sports Star. Sign up your foursome now at sasportstar.com. Our AA Best Bell Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday out there. Whatever you're doing, however you are doing it, this is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel back here in San Antonio. Jason Minix is out in San Francisco. Our AA Best Bail Bonds big game coverage taking place. Jason's on Radio Row, and Minix, it is it sounds like a boxing match or a convention going on behind you.
Well, it's a combination of both and a circus and all the juggling that is going on. Dalton Schultz should have been here, 21 minutes ago. And we got told, all right, he's running a little bit late. Understandable. Then we were told he'll be there by 15, 16, and now it's 21. And we still don't see Dalton Schultz. He's running late. What's interesting is Chris Myers is going to join us at 3:30. He's here early. But we're kind of holding off Chris and seeing if Dalton Dalton shows up for the shortest interview ever on Radio Row, if he actually gets here, which would be kind of part of the fun of what's going on here in San Francisco. You'll get a question, you'll piss him off, and he's going to get up and leave. So, I mean, it actually could work out perfectly since he is running so far behind.
Well, I mean, I'm a nice guy. I'm not going to piss him off on purpose. Sometimes the truth hurts.
On purpose is the key word. You go with it. It is another crazy day here on Radio Row, that is for sure. And more of the characters. Like, I don't know what's on the video right now, but some dude carrying a dinosaur just walked by. He's got like I don't know what the hell that is, like a little T-Rex on his arm.
Wow.
What the hell is that?
Is it like a stuffed animal or what?
Well, I thought it was live at first, but no, it's like the world's largest iguana.
Oh, it's a real animal.
Yeah. I mean, that thing is massive.
Yeah.
I'm glad he said. Well, he's pretty far down there. He's wearing one of them Crocodile Dundee hats too. It's Radio Row. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I won't lie to you, Minix. Every now and then, behind you can't see. But there are some shiny objects walking by and every now and then. So it's been very entertaining for me and for everybody watching on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page.
Well, first off, I'm fully aware of what is going on. And if you see them walking behind me, at some point they've walked around me. And we are on the main street. I mean, everybody walks by in this area. Sometimes I wonder if we made a mistake in putting that 94.1 banner right there because, while it's great when a guest is sitting there, it sucks for you guys that are just trying to watch everything else. Because otherwise, you just get a wonderful shot of Paul Catalina, our buddy from Waco, and he fills up the rest of the frame. So you don't really get to see what's walking by.
Well, that's absolutely true. But there have been some entertainment, if you will, for sure, happening behind you a time or two. That's for sure. So, hopefully we can hook up with Dalton Schultz at some point in time today. But I tell you what, Chris Meyer is a guy that's got the best voice in broadcasting. I'm pretty convinced of that. The guy's incredible. He's been around for a long time, seen a lot of stuff, and well, he's going to join us because he's there. He's early. He's unlike that Houston Texans tight end that is not there. So why don't we visit with Chris Meyer? You want to do that?
Yep, let's do that. Take a break and come back and talk to Chris.
All right, we will do that when we continue live from San Francisco, Radio Row. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, I got to tell you, though, about my good friends at Stevens Roofing. I love talking about Stevens Roofing. Great people, family-owned company, local company, and they are absolutely the best in the business. And you don't have to take my word for it. Take this for it. 1983, great year. That's when Stevens Roofing started in business. 1983. They've been in business that long, so that should tell you everything you need to know about the reliability, about the quality work that they do, about everything about them, because you just don't stay in business that long if you're not doing it right. Stevens Roofing is doing it right. And in fact, now they've added solar to what they do. Stevens Roofing and Solar. If you've been thinking about solar panels, you need to call Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994. They're going to take the same quality care that they do with your roof in installing your solar panels, and they're going to get it done for you exactly how you want it. Look, if you think there's a problem with your roof, you need to call Stevens Roofing and Solar, because they'll send a team out, they'll inspect your roof for free, and they'll let you know if there's any problem up there, and they'll let you know how they want to take care of it if there is. They are absolutely the best. Don't go with anybody else. You owe it to yourself to go with Stevens Roofing and Solar. 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net.
Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. More wall-to-wall coverage leading up to Sunday's big game continues next on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a Friday on the Morning Huddle, last Friday of football season. We'll be digging deep into the Super Bowl, Rob.
Oh, we're talking Super Bowl, but we're talking pregame, and we'll have my personal Patronus, my favorite dude of all time, Andrew Zimmern will join us along with others. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone.
Where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-611-2046. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-611-2046. That's 800-611-2046.
Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
For 100 days, I'm going to cross the 7 continents because the answers to everything important are out there at the edges of our world. I'm stepping into the unknown. Where are we going? To see our planet as it's never been seen before, from pole to pole.
Pole to Pole with Will Smith from National Geographic. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Show me the way.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1073. 800-499-1073. 800-499-1073.
It's San Antonio's newest sports watching destination, Novo Brazil Brewing Company. Craft beers, kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, 8 massive LED screens conveniently attached to North Star Mall, open late. Novo Brazil Brewing Company. Go to novobrew.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the big game in Silicon Valley. And the only local station bringing you exclusive wall-to-wall coverage from the Bay Area. All brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. We're live from Radio Row with insider interviews, breaking stories, and all of the pregame excitement leading up to the superb Now, from the biggest names in sports to behind-the-scenes access, we've got it all. Your AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Your front row seat to the backstage action, live from the Bay Area, is 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage, live from San Francisco, is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
That's right. Our Radio Row coverage. It's happening and things are heating up as we get closer to the Super Bowl there in San Francisco. I'm Joe Reinagle back here in San Antonio. Jason Minix is out on Radio Row with another exceptional guest.
And one with the best voice in a room full of voices, the legendary Chris Meyer is joining us here.
And the boss, but the mighty, mighty boss tones. Wow, that's cool. That's a little bit of a, you know, they did one of the earliest ESPYs that I was part of when I hung with Bill Murray and all that back. Yeah,
really?
Yeah. Dickie, I forget the lead guy, but yeah, hung out with him a little bit. He later worked with Jimmy Kimmel on his late night show. It's kind of funny.
Music aficionado. Wow. And Ryan, you talk about a man with many, many talents. So Chris was telling me during the break, you know, he flew into San Francisco last night after working the Westminster
Kennel Club Dog Show.
The official name.
Yes, the 150th and the best in show, the top dog in the entire universe.
So the Super Bowl of dog shows.
That's it.
You're doing that, and then you're on Super Bowl Radio Row.
And by the way, a bit of an upset in that a Doberman Pinscher won. It was the fifth time, but they hadn't won since the late 80s. I just have all this information I got to use up.
Exactly. But the Snickerdoodle's just fine.
Yeah, it beat out the Bay City Retriever, I think it was, or something that had never won, but was an All-American dog. So that's that was live. It was fun for Madison Square Garden, noisy crowd. Like you would have thought it was a Knicks game going on the way people were hollering. But if you saw the movie Best in Show, this is how that's so real. It's comical about the reality of that. I've always been a dog lover. I know you were talking about that it's an important thing. But this is a whole new world when you're competing. It's almost like I don't want to say a beauty pageant, but the ideal standard of each dog. I said, how do you judge a German Shepherd against a Chihuahua? And it's like the perfection of that breed. If it matches all the things, then the judge has to make the call.
That's unbelievable to me, Chris. Now, how in the world do you prepare for something like that? I'm just curious.
Well, they give you, there's over 300 breeds that start out. You got a book on that, and it's almost like putting your board together to call a football game with players. The roster, you learn pronunciations and you learn certain traits that the dogs have. But the good thing is that our cameras, the dogs are the stars, so when they put it on, you can see, and I have an analyst with me, you can see the physical, differences between the breeds. And just like I'd have a former coach or player, I have a former trainer or judge, and so I can say to him, hey, why is the tail or why are there webbed feet on this particular breed? And then what is the judge looking for in particular? So, and they let me have a little fun with it. Fox, we liked it. So, like, they had the Dalmatian come out, and he was very serious, this Dalmatian. I said, hey, there's got to be 100 more around here somewhere. And the guy said, no, this is the only one that we, so he totally kind of missed. And then there was a dog named Cuervo, and so he's got a shot. And they said, no, this one really is kind of too young to win the championship. So I'm like, okay, we'll just move on.
Yeah, so you were working with an analyst that was
dog focused.
Yeah,
that's their job. That's what they do.
Exactly. No, and that makes sense. Now, I love the idea, the German Shepherd against the Poodle, because that's kind of how this Super Bowl feels. Everybody is on Seattle. They are the German Shepherds and the Patriot Poodles.
We have had. That's good work right there, how you did that. Dog lovers will appreciate it. I caution everyone. I had the ability to be on the sideline working for Fox when the undefeated Patriots took on the Giants and were expected to roll over them, and almost everybody was picking the Patriots. So I caution that sometimes. Obviously, this isn't the point spread. This isn't that big a gap, so it would appear. But I, too, would be – I just think because nobody expected the Patriots to be here. They caught a few breaks in the playoffs with a backup quarterback. They played a lighter schedule, all this. But I called a couple of their games this year. I got to tell you, Drake May is talking about ahead of schedule for a second-year guy with Josh McDaniels Daniels, they're dangerous. I don't think he has a great receiving core. Mike Vrabel is a kinder, gentler version of the coach in Tennessee. He's taken the best of Belichick and applied it to his players. He's a happier, different guy. I think he knows he's playing with house money here. They got nothing to lose. He has great strategic things that he can do to keep his team in the game. So I wouldn't be totally shocked if they won, but I'm leaning Seattle because to me their defense, and I saw the Texans up close during the year, and I saw the who else did? Oh, Denver, the Broncos defense. Those were some, but Seattle right there with them, and I think that's going to be the difference in the game.
I tell you what, Chris, I think you're right. I think with Vrabel and Josh McDaniels, the Patriots have an edge there in the coaching staff, but everything else you said is spot on. I just think it's going to be a good game, and I certainly hope that it is going to be. Let's talk Sam Darnold, Chris, because I'm curious. This guy still is getting no respect despite winning 14 games 2 years in a row with two different teams, and I think he has to win this thing to change the perception of who he is as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, and I don't blame the public because the last image they saw was that rough playoff game and the interceptions, and then they only think of the ghost stories of the Jets. I sat with him and called games when he was in Carolina in the transition, and then had him earlier this year. They were on the road. They beat Jacksonville and talked to him, and I got to respect the guy because he's still a young guy for having get bounced around from a top pick to almost forgotten, but he never was bitter. I didn't blame coaches or anybody else. He was looking each time to how can I get better. I asked him if he ever thought about giving up, football. He's like, no, it's a passion. I would want to do this job no matter what. And then the stops in Minnesota and San Francisco, he don't even play a lot in San Francisco. He said that really opened his eyes to offenses and play calling and even what he does best and how to work around his team. So his teammates don't have any doubts about where he is. And that's the more important thing. In the huddle, he's a soft-spoken guy. He's grateful that he's here, but he's intense enough. And he's got a receiver he can get the ball to in Jackson Smith-Njigba, who I think even double covered can make big time catches. So, but you're right. The public perception is that, and if he wins the Super Bowl, they'll still be doubted. Oh, they'll say he had a great defense behind him or whatever. But I will say, Kenneth Walker, who's always a pretty good back, he's really taken off this year. I mean, and into the playoffs especially. I mean, running very physically and bouncing off tackles, making teams look bad that are usually good tackling teams. And I think that's helped Sam Darnold out quite a bit. Yeah, I'm a fan of him. I mean, if you root for guys like that. He's not even 30. He's bounced around so much and wasn't disrespectful at all along the way. The Vikings did offer him something, but not enough. They got to have the issue letting Daniel Jones go, letting him go, and they still have their quarterback issues. I'm sure they're watching this and seeing their own ghosts, by the way.
Chris Meyer is joining us here on the Blitz, and I think about Sam Darnold, and I don't know that he'll get the whole Trent Dilfer treatment. You won a Super Bowl, but your defense was so great. But he's also got to make some plays in the game. It can't be the reason if they don't win to change the narrative. Now, you mentioned you spent a lot of time with Drake May. As a young guy, because they seem so ahead of schedule, the Patriots. What impresses you most about Drake May?
Well, I think, and I try not to judge, sometimes the way people are raised, you can tell that in a young player, obviously, because in their later years, they alter in their world forms and shapes around their own family. But raised in the South, respectful, yes sir, no ma'am, can show some competitiveness and some fire, but doesn't go over the top, stays calm for a guy in his second year as a pro. I see now why they didn't throw him out there the year before. I kept wondering, because I called a game when they had Jacoby Brissett there, and of course Vrabel wasn't the coach then, but I was like, man, when are they going to play this guy? He needs experience. They played him at the back half. They wanted to make sure he wouldn't get beat up. And then we saw this elusiveness that I didn't see coming out of college, where he could run effectively and protect himself. There were teams that wanted to trade into that spot to get him, and they said no, they would, if they had the number one overall pick, they would have taken him over any other quarterback. And that's at least what I had heard prior to this emergence of him. So I like his maturity. I think he knows how to study film, and he knows what film to study in terms of preparation. Real advantage having Josh McDaniels as his offensive coordinator. That's what Josh does best, and they have a real connection, along with a Mike Vrabel investment as a head coach. Even though he's defensive minded, he's been very much in this guy's corner about, hey, we need you to lead the team. Be yourself, but don't be afraid to step out there. And the array of receivers, there's a reason he had a high completion percentage, because he didn't have that kind of game breaker that could get downfield. That may end up costing him a little bit in this game against this great defense.
Chris, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. Tonight, the MVP will be awarded, and I think most people think it's going to go to Matthew Stafford, with Drake May coming in second. Do you think in that respect, look, nothing against Matthew Stafford, I'm a big fan of his, but I like Drake May as well. The schedule that the Patriots played, do you think that hurts Drake May in this situation?
I don't know that people look into that much at this point. Usually they'll compare numbers, but I've always been one who it's the eye test in games that I saw. And I know his playoffs haven't been great. Of course, he's run into some good defenses that were better than, as you said, in that schedule. But I wouldn't discount. That's almost like discounting. Well, he's got a good defense, so anybody could have quarterbacked that team. I mean, we could tell the elevation of does a quarterback make a big difference? As it was just pointed out, hey, Sam Darnold's still going to have to make a play here or there, and he did in that Ram playoff game. So I hope that doesn't count against Drake May. I just think there is what may count against him is he's so young. Second year, really first year he'll played half the time if that. And I just think Stafford, who as long as he's been around in the Super Bowl, he really did. Even if you didn't get to see him, I mean, he had an amazing year, and to put up those numbers, and I think probably got more attention. So and you can even think it's always an offensive and a quarterback, or it seems once in a while a running back or receiver. There have been some other guys. I mean, I did a Myles Garrett game, and that guy on that team with what he was able to do, I know it's not just the record, but just I've seen him change games all by himself, triple, double teams on a regular basis. So there's a lot of guys that you can put in consideration. But I'm with you. I think he'll end up winning, and it's probably the right call. It's not a runaway, and probably it's more about what Stafford did well than what May did or didn't do based on the schedule.
Chris Meyer is joining us here on a Radio Row in San Francisco. You're a Revive customer, and you're working with Revive, and they've got a very cool award for college athletes, which I find pretty impressive and amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Mueller Sports Medicine has been around for decades, and they're very innovative, and they're establishing the first ever Revive Award that goes to the college player, college athlete, I should say, male or female in any recognized sport with the colleges, that comes back from an injury. So in a sense, I'm surprised they don't have this, coming back from an injury to have a season of success. And you have to go to reviveaward.com to register for that if you're one of those athletes. The thing is, if you win this award, they will pay you NIL money. I think it's up to $10,000. They'll also put a Revive Center in your facility. We've seen these in gyms and professional locker rooms where they help recover with pain and injury that you can use. But they'll set that up in that actual complex of the person's school, which is a nice contribution to future athletes. And the University of Miami already has one of these in there. And of course, the Hurricanes had a pretty good season. So it's something that I think is really good to help young athletes. And I've used this before for traveling when I've had circulation on long flights so you can't get up and exercise. My wife uses it after playing pickleball or tennis to reduce some pain. You can also use it for not only recovery, but you use it at night to relax. The home units that they have, professional athletes use when they're at work or in the locker room. To order, they have home kits now that you can get that are a little bit more less expensive and a little bit more effective for the everyday person who just has wear and tear or a weekend athlete. So go to MuellerRevive.com to take a look at that. But I used it and have used it, and I'm nowhere near an athlete, but it does help keep me in good shape so that I'm active, that I'm not too tired. So whether I need to revitalize or mellow out and relax, it can help at night or in the morning when I need to get going.
Well, and again, you talk about everything that you're doing, always on the go. From the dog show to Radio Row, he's flying home tonight and he'll watch the Super Bowl at home. It's weird not working.
Yeah.
You know how that works.
Right,
you could watch at home.
Yeah, it's nice. I'll relax at home and enjoy it. Some people have Super Bowl parties that get a little too loud, but I like to really focus on the game and the broadcast. I always do kind of look at the game and kind of do my own critiquing of the broadcast as well.
Absolutely. Chris, great seeing you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. Nice seeing you here again every year. Appreciate it. See you. Take care.
Chris Myers here on Radio Row here in San Francisco. Always fun catching up with Chris, and kind of comical hearing from the dog show. A multi-talented guy. That's why he wins Emmys. And the studying that he does is, we got all kinds of stuff. Now we're trying to kill Chris Myers getting out of here. Who knows what's going on with all the tables. Oh, wow. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Always a spider web, if you will, underneath that desk and on that desk, that's for sure. Chris Myers does it all. I mean, the guy does NASCAR. He does the dog show. He does everything. The guy is probably busier now than he's ever been in his entire career. And he's busy like that because he's so good at what he does.
Well, that's it. And again, I mean, just talking to him a little bit about getting ready for the dog show was hilarious, the amount of studying that he had to do. And he was telling me, they send you this stuff. And, he's like, there's 300 dogs in there. He's like, it's like prepping for the draft. But you're deep into like those that are going to be taken in the 5th, 6th, 7th round, not just the first round studying that you have to do. And, dog breeds that he didn't know existed.
I think that's all of us that have ever watched the dog show. I mean, some of these dogs are goofy as hell looking. And, you wonder who cut their hair and why they got to prance around the way they do. And I don't know. It's my wife loves those things. And I'm like, honey, I'm not watching that. And she's like, well, on Sundays during football season, I watch football. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, well, at that point, you don't really have much of a choice.
I really don't. No, you're right.
We all understand exactly what you're saying. All right, over-under that Dalton Schultz shows up.
I'm going to take the under.
You're going to take the under.
Under.
Joe, you talk for a minute. I'm going to see if we get a Dalton update. Do we have a Dalton update?
All right, I will talk for a minute as we look for Dalton Schultz, the Houston Texans tight end, who unfortunately for them, he went out injured in that playoff game against New England, and that was tough, and it certainly helped them because look, C.J. Stroud was already without a lot of firepower in that game, and then you lose your security blanket, and that certainly hurt them in that game. Yeah, they almost pulled it off anyway. But so we're looking for Dalton Schultz, and if he shows up, we'll sit him down and we'll talk to him. In the meantime, the NBA trade deadline has come and gone, and the Spurs have decided to stand pat. They did absolutely nothing. I know there's some Spurs fans out there that really don't care. I've seen the comments on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, and there are others out there that are diehard Spurs fans that are very disappointed that they did not do something to address some of the things that they need to take care of. But they're standing pat, and they're going into the rest of the season with what they've got and hoping that's enough.
Well, and again, I'm with you. An update, Dalton Schultz has been on the DraftKings set for, 15, 20 minutes, and he's still over there.
Is he making a bet or what?
They have shows going. I don't know if he's making a bet or not, but he's hung up over there. And it's like, all right, well, can we do this? No, we got Kyle Rudolph scheduled as he's trying to find a different time. So I'm going to say punt on Dalton Schultz.
Well, I may be the only one, Jason, but I'm okay with that.
How did I not know that?
No, it would have been fun. Honestly, it would have been fun to talk to him about the differences between Houston and Dallas and, some of the things. And I know he was disappointed. It was a disappointing game for him against the New England Patriots when he goes out with an injury. I talked about that because, man, C.J. Stroud already had nobody to throw to. And then when Schultz went out, that didn't help him for sure.
Absolutely. And again, that's part of Radio Row. I do appreciate their PR person that's communicating that there's delays because it is a bleep show here on Radio Row right now with some people getting from A to B. Some are on time, some aren't. And you certainly understand, and you know this, Joe, how difficult it could be once you get behind schedule to go from there. But I think Dalton Schultz might take the place of the Diplo from what happened in Los Angeles. If you remember, there we were supposed to interview the Diplo, which I didn't really give a damn about, except for I did homework learning about this dude. He's a big time DJ. And he was right there, but he was hungry. And so he went to go eat. And they never really told us that he was not doing it right then. And then we're watching him eat. And it was during our scheduled time, and there was no other place to fit him in the schedule. So, Dalton Schultz and the Diplo have something in common.
Lollygagging. They do. They just basically stood us up. I've got a question for you, Minix, because I saw an interview the other day, or a snippet of one with Dak Prescott. And it was like a firing question. It's like, one of those rapid fire kinds of things. And the interviewer asked Dak Prescott who his best friend was. He said Jake Ferguson. Did you know that Dak Prescott and Jake Ferguson were best friends?
Definition make them boys go crazy.
I know a tight end is always a quarterback's best friend.
Well, on the football field, I'm talking about off the football field. Apparently, those two are very good friends. So I found it quite interesting.
Well, and maybe that is why Dalton Schultz was so bitter about getting out of there. Is he became. I mean, again, Ferguson is a smart guy. And one of the cool things about Jake Ferguson, who I know you like Ferguson for a variety of reasons, and we've gone over those forever and ever on the show. But maybe that's one of the problems Dalton had is Ferguson showed up and he knew that he needed to become good friends with the quarterback, and Dalton was on the outside. He didn't get invited to the party.
Well, apparently now, along with Jerry Jones and everybody else, Dak Prescott needs to send me a thank you for discovering this guy.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because what I like about Jake Ferguson and coming up at around 4:15, we're going to visit with some friends that are our Crunch Time Hero of the Ward winner, a kid from Louisville, but they're raising money for the Archer Foundation. Now, on a personal level, I've known this family for a long time and the tragedy that they went through. And when young Archer, who's not with us anymore, and we knew the end was near, we got him a day with the Dallas Cowboys. His favorite player was Brandon Aubrey, and Aubrey was surprised by that. But Jake Ferguson spent more time with Archer that day and checked on him afterwards. My level of respect for the human being that is Jake Ferguson will never change. I know we joke about him and how you discovered him, but he's just a really, really, really good human being.
Well, that's good. And apparently I've just reminded on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page that he proposed to Haley Cavender. I guess that happened during the season, right? So he's about to get hitched to a very shiny person.
Yeah, dude is a winner. That is for sure. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That he's a winner. No, there's no doubt about it. No, and I think he's only going to get better and uphold the tight end history that the Dallas Cowboys have. And I think once his career is all said and done, I think you'll talk about him as he was the next, and he upheld that tradition. So that is pretty cool when you're talking about the Cowboys. Are you having fun out there, Minix? Is all I want to know.
Oh, dude, I'm having a blast out here. I mean, are you kidding? It's Radio Row. I mean, Super Bowl parties, big dinners. We got the cigar party tonight. Last night we were at the Shannon Sharp party, which was interesting to say the least. Well, and I say interesting because there were a lot of celebrities there, but all the celebrities went into some part of the. We don't know where they went because the room wasn't very big. I mean, it was like going into a club, like you roll into Sam's Burger Joint, but there was another place where all the you see them walk through. And then you never see them again. And then when the free alcohol became paid alcohol, we were like, why am I paying $20 for a beer here? I can go find a bar.
So you're saying you and Thompson weren't considered celebrities? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, not that level of celebrity. I can tell you that. I mean, no. I can tell you that the line to get in this, we bypassed that line and got straight in. We're that level.
Wow.
So we didn't have to wait in line.
Very cool.
But once we got in there, we're standing there, and I was, for a while we were standing with Marcus Allen, and he was the one guy that apparently didn't know where the secret door was because he was the only big-time celebrity that was there. Michael Irvin walked through and straight up. Warren Sapp walked through and straight disappeared. Micah Parsons, and then Stephen A. Smith, and never saw Shannon Sharp there. But yeah, there was some secret door that those guys were all going into. Now, we did get to skip the line, and the line, and I'm wondering, people paid hundreds of dollars to stand around and drink.
Wow.
Yeah, because there was nothing special about that party last night from that regard.
Well, you know how it is. People just want to say they were there, and that's how that works. Well, talking about celebrities, I love these two guys. We've talked to them every Radio Row that I've been involved in. The Telemundo game broadcasters, Miguel Gurwitz and Ronaldo Cantu. They're going to join us next here on the Blitz.
They are.
On 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I don't know if you guys have looked at the forecast. I certainly have, and the weather is going to get unbelievably nice. Up into the 80s this weekend, and sunny skies. Outstanding. If you can get out there, and look, I know the Super Bowl's on Sunday, but, go play golf early and then you can stick around out at the Golf Club of Texas and watch the Super Bowl out there. They got plenty of TVs out there that make your viewing pleasure even that much more pleasurable. That is for sure. It is a one-stop shopping for entertainment, whether it's golf, whether it's great food, great beverages, great beer. The Golf Club of Texas is where you need to be. Look, this place looks like a country club. Everything they have done has shwanked this place up. It looks like a country club. It's not, though. Open to the public 7 days a week, and their staff out there, they're going to make you feel like you're at a country club. They are the absolute best in the business. The Tin Cup Bar and Grill, I mentioned the food. It is absolutely fantastic. It is great. It's not going to break the bank. Plus, they can make you any kind of cocktail you want, and they've got a huge selection of ice-cold beer. It is a great place, and I know it'd be a perfect place. If you're looking for a place to go watch the Super Bowl, the Golf Club of Texas is your place. Golf Club of Texas, look, you know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether you're going for dinner at the Tin Cup, around with your buddies, how about your next tournament? Go check them out. Best rates always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Our AA Best Bell Bonds Radio Row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. More behind-the-scenes access is coming up next on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Total Wine is your home field advantage for game day. The only place to go for the lowest prices on your go-to lineup of spirits, beers, seltzers, and wines. Tackle game day and every day only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Hey, the big game is almost here, but every game is big when you play Prize Picks because it's so fun to be right. And when the big game comes around, I'm talking 2,000 times your money. But you got to remember something. That's the code Alamo. With $5, you can get $50 in free play when you go download the Prize Picks app. But when the big game hits, the specials are here, and we've got them. And I love Prize Picks because if my guy is winning, I can cash out early. That's one of the best things about Prize Picks is they take care of you from beginning to end. Prize Picks offers 2,000 times your cash. I've heard all different numbers, not 2,000 from other places. So when it comes down to the big game, and it could be that big game or any big game, Prize Picks makes it a big game. Download the app, use the code Alamo, and use some big free money to play the big game. Prize Picks, let me tell you how good it feels, because it feels so good to be right.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, it's NBA trade deadline day. It has come and gone, and the Spurs have decided to stand pat. They are in action tonight. After beating the Oklahoma City Thunder last night, they're in Dallas tonight to take on the Mavs. Tip-off there set for 7:30. Now, the biggest move wasn't made. The Bucks have shut down the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade talks. They decided not to move on from their franchise superstar just yet.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Live from AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row in San Francisco with coverage leading up to Sunday's big game. It's The Blitz with Jason Minix and Joe Reinagel on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, that's right. It is Thursday, which means we're just about, 3 days away from the Super Bowl between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. Ought to be exciting. It's been an exciting week there in San Francisco on Radio Row. That's where Jason Minix is. I'm Joe Reinagel back here in San Antonio, holding down the fort. And a lot of action there. We've had a lot of great guests, Jason, and the best is yet to come. Kyle Rudolph will be coming up later. And then the cherry on top is going to be Michael Irvin about 5 o'clock, and looking forward to that. Looks like some guests arriving as Jason gets up from the table to shake hands or take pictures or whatever he's going to do. So we're scheduled to visit with the game broadcasters for Telemundo, Miguel Gurwitz and Ronaldo Cantu. And as they get set up, I tell you what, we've talked to them every Radio Row since I've been there, certainly for sure. And these guys are exciting, man. They are exciting. They're fun to talk to. They love doing the broadcast of the Super Bowl, and it is just a lot of fun. So we're scheduled to talk to those two guys here coming up in just a moment.
Well, and right now we've got one that's here and one that's been held up. It is insane, Miguel, on Radio Row here, is it not?
It is insane. Hey, happy to be here again.
And I think about it, and I get Rolando may or may not, so you might have to move over a chair here.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the car wash, but you guys calling the Super Bowl again, which is, I mean, I think I forget what year you were doing it first, and you were like, man, we're calling the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
and now it's just old hat.
No, you never take it for granted. It's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to call the most important game in the season. I'm blessed to be able to do it with Rolando and for Telemundo. As I said, I never take it for granted. Never.
Well, I tell you what, Miguel, it's you guys make it a lot of fun, and I know every year that we talk to you guys, you look forward to calling this game, and the interest from the Telemundo viewers is just getting better and better, is it not?
It's it. Yeah. It's growing every single year. It's growing. I think the NFL has made a tremendous job in growing the sport. The Latino community, it's all in the Super Bowl. We have 5 Latinos playing the Super Bowl. We have Bad Bunny. So I think it's amazing. And we have a lot of quality players right now in both rosters. So I think it's going to be amazing.
And now we got them both here. Now, Joe Reinagel's back in San Antonio. Rolando, Miguel, I mean, dude, you're like a rock star, Rolando, walking through here, all the people that are stopping you.
Oh, Jason and Joe, good to be with you again. It's one of these weeks where this is what we come for, to promote, to talk football, to mingle with peers and colleagues like you guys that love football and love to talk sports. For me, it's an honor to be with Miguel doing this media tour.
Well, look, Rolando, I know that you're a South Texas guy, right? You're from the Valley.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just down there in Zapata, San Isidro with my family, with a good group of friends. Former offensive lineman Robert Garza from Rio Hondo. We have an annual trip down there, and we cook. We talk, and that's pretty much what we do down there.
You sing.
We sing a little bit, but nothing
At least
crazy.
he tries.
Yeah.
Well, and again, you're drinking, you're having a good time. I want to ask when you say you cook, what's on the menu?
So Central Texas barbecue.
Okay.
That's kind of our thing down there in South Texas. Great friend of mine, Lucio Moya, out of Roma, Texas, in your smoky face. He actually put us on the cooking part a while back, and it's been something that we come together and we kind of do the whole process, right? The 12-hour brisket, the ribs, the pulled pork, the turkey breast, the Texas Twinkies, everything that we can possibly smoke on Post Oak. We do it.
It sounds like a great feast and a great time. You guys get together, and then you're prepared. Your head's cleared. You can get back to football and talking about this game. I've got to ask you about this game because everybody I've talked to, Miguel and Rolando, nobody had Seattle and New England in this game. Did you guys?
Well, once the playoff bracket started, yes, I picked them. But from the get-go, nobody had him. Obviously, you have Sam Darnold situation where he's been on the carousel for the past 6-7 seasons where he got a second shot, and I think that's the great story, Joe, on this effort because he finally found a place where they can build around him, where he can actually develop. And what I've seen from the quarterback standpoint is that everything he does is everybody feeds off him, off this Seattle Seahawks team. We were able to sit down with them on opening night since we're the rights holders, Telemundo, on the Spanish side, and Miguel actually interviewed him for about 10-12 minutes, and you can just tell the guy takes control of the room. He was not in his uniform. He was wearing a baseball hat, regular t-shirt, jeans, and the way he expresses himself, you can tell this guy is smart. This guy is really ready and focused to go. Nobody thought, in my point of view, in my eyes, that Seattle would have been here. But once you started seeing them rolling, you probably figured it out that in the NFC West, somebody was going to make it.
Miguel, you talk about, as we visit with Mikel Gerwitz and Rolando Cantu, is spending that time with Sam Darnold, who high draft pick, didn't work out, well-traveled, and everybody kind of waits for Sam Darnold to have that moment. How comfortable in his skin was he when you got to visit with him? I mean, 2 or 3 minutes, you get standard answers. Once you get to about 10, he's relaxed at that point. How comfortable in his skin is Sam Darnold?
A lot. I actually asked him, was there a time that you doubted yourself during your first stage in the NFL with the Jets? And he said, no, it's all part of a process. And it's funny because a lot of people say, hey, Sam Darnold, he can't win a big game. Who's going to win a big game with the Jets? Nobody. You don't have that chance. So he's really comfortable. He's really calm. I asked him, what's most challenging part of this week? And he said, the wait. I can't wait. I want to be on the field. So, I mean, that's a great story. That's Sam Darnold. It's a great story.
There's no doubt it's a great story, but you guys know this, Miguel and Rolando. It's a guy that still is earning respect in my mind. Yeah. Even though he's won 14 games the last 2 years with 2 different teams, I still hear it all the time. Well, he's going to turn into Sam Darnold of the past, and he just doesn't get that respect. Yeah. I think winning this game would go a long way into putting Sam Darnold in another shelf, if you will.
Well, for sure, and it's a goal for Drake May as well. If we remember last year, Drake May on third downs, his head was coming down off the field. He was just like beat. He was ready to call it in. And there was no way you can possibly finish off a season and feel good about it after what you went through. 65 plus sacks. He was pretty much the quarterback that was hit every single time. And once he got Vrabel and he got Josh McDaniels back in there, and the confidence, the building of that confidence started back in summer with the installation, the mini camps, the OTs. You could just see the way he grew, and it's been the same thing. Sometimes you need a change. It happened to Darnold with the Seahawks, and it happened in the second year for Drake May within the Patriots organization. Another great story. Vrabel, how can you write the script? Winning Super Bowls for the Patriots, coming back, being the head coach. Now he could become the first player, head coach to actually win on both sides. Obviously, Tom Flores went through the process. Doug Peterson also went through the process, but they didn't play in those Super Bowls.
Yeah.
He's the one that's actually been on the field, calling plays, tackling, doing all these
with the same team.
With the same team.
With the same team, which
that's
is
great.
even more amazing. No, Rolando, you played in the NFL. Let's talk line play because we know it's in the trenches where it's going to be decided. Who's got the better line?
Better line for me, it's got to be the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks, I love Gray Zabel, that left guard, the kid, along that combo with Charles Cross. I mean, that left side is pretty solid. You've seen the growth, 4.6 average on Kenneth Walker. Once he took over full-time for Charbonnet, you can see how this line pushes the ball forward. I love that run-first mentality from the Seattle Seahawks. That opens up the passing game for Sam Darnold and simplifies things. And on the other side, I love Will Campbell. I know he hasn't had the best playoff run, right, Miguel?
Yeah.
But this guy, I mean, we've scouted him. I've scouted him since LSU, and I had a chance to sit down with him at the draft in Green Bay. And you can just tell he's going to be one of those guys that's going to last a while and is going to make his best effort and is going to do it at a very high level. Obviously, I don't think, to be honest with you, Jason, that he is fully healthy because I see him moving a little, on the slower end. But it's one more game. Give me one more game. Yeah. Give me a solid protection on the left side, which has been the side where, he gave up on the AFC Championship. He gave out, I think, 4 pressures, 1 sack, and he hasn't looked solid like he started the season. So, yeah, there's going to be questions of him and Wilson, that left side combo. They're rookies, but they definitely have it in them. I mean, that's what has been the biggest change in my point of view from last year to this year. You actually had guys in there for the Patriots offensive line that are just willing to do their job. And you got to consistently do that in order for your quarterback to have decent play. That's what's happened on both sides.
Rolando Cantu, Miguel Gerwitz, the explosion in Latin America for NFL football. I know there's going to be a game in Mexico City this year, hopefully with the Dallas Cowboys. If Jerry gets his way. Guys, have fun on the call on a Sunday. Appreciate you stopping by with us this afternoon.
I appreciate you guys. Like every year, this is one of the funnest interviews we do.
Well, I appreciate it.
Appreciate
Next time you're in
that.
town, man, let's get together and do some barbecue.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You're going to love this guy.
Yeah.
That's why I love him.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks like, looking at you, too, he eats all the food. I mean, you get what?
Don't let his size tell you a different story. He can do it.
Yeah, he's going to kill us if you guys don't leave.
Oh, we're gone.
We can do this all day.
You guys can stay as long as you want.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you very much. I mean, it's the car wash here on Radio Row. Appreciate you, man. You know how that goes. Thank you, Miguel. Appreciate you guys.
Love
Good
talking to those
stuff,
guys,
as
man. You talk
always.
about a great
Absolutely.
tradition, Jason, man. Having those guys on, just the energy that they bring and the fact that Rolando is a South Texas guy, man. Come on. That's fantastic.
Exactly what it is. Good stuff.
Good stuff, no doubt about it. Now, when we come back to Radio Row and our Radio Row coverage, we're going to talk to David Chapo, who is the 2025 Crunch Time Hero of the Year. Louisville punter. Should be an interesting conversation. We'll do that when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast because, of course, you do it. You know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. The best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. Up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Our AA Best Bail Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. More behind-the-scenes access is coming up next on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the big game in Silicon Valley, and the only local station bringing you exclusive wall-to-wall coverage from the Bay Area. All brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. We're live from Radio Row with insider interviews, breaking stories, and all of the pregame excitement leading up to the superb hour. From the biggest names in sports to behind-the-scenes access, we've got it all. Your AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Your front row seat to the backstage action, live from the Bay Area, is 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Celebrate the 17th annual Pork Rind Appreciation Day with PorkRinds.com and NFL legend Devin Hester. We're teaming up to support the Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund, helping retired players get the medical care they deserve. Want to get in the game? Visit PorkRinds.com to play their Crunch Time Hero game and enter daily to win a trip to the 2027 big game in LA, plus a year's supply of pork rinds. Grab the perfect low-carb snack and be your own Pork Rind Appreciation Day hero today at PorkRinds.com.
Order Smoky Mo's Texas Barbecue for your big game watch party. For a limited time, the rib pack is available just for the big game with 3 pounds of mouth-watering ribs and home-style sides of your choice. Feed your crowd with game day favorites. For 26 years, Smoky Mo's has created craft-level barbecue with great neighborhood value. Smoky Mo's is great Texas barbecue served fast and friendly with 8 convenient locations in San Antonio. Stop by or order Smoky Mo's for pickup or delivery at SmokyMo'sBBQ.com.
From 30 for 30 Podcasts.
Did you say someone got shot?
Brian Pata, senior defensive lineman from Miami, gunned down.
The key to this case, it's Brian. An hour before he died, he was on the phone arguing with somebody.
This might be a hit.
You want the truth. They just want a conviction.
Been placed under arrest.
We had a killer amongst us. Murder at the U, coming soon.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out.
I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1073. 800-499-1073. 800-499-1073.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a Friday on the Morning Huddle. Last Friday of football season. We'll be digging deep into the Super Bowl, Rob.
Oh, we're talking Super Bowl, but we're talking pregame, and we'll have my personal Patronus, my favorite dude of all time, Andrew Zimmerman will join us along with others. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Our AA Best Bail Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Welcome back to the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage continues, brought to you in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. And we've got the Pork Rind Crunch Time Hero winner with us, David Chapo. Dude, your first Radio Row experience. We were at dinner last night, and you were nervous as hell about this. Yeah. How's it been?
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. I mean, seeing a lot of NFL athletes, a lot of people that I told my buddy, I just seen a lot of people that you just scroll through Instagram and they're making videos and stuff like that. So it's just kind of random people and stuff, and Pat McAfee and just a bunch of different.
So of all the people here, who's the one you're like, holy crap, that's so-and-so?
Probably Gary Vee.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not what I expected to hear.
That's just not who I expected to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So seeing Trevor Lawrence is, you kind of thought you'd see Trevor. Did you see Trevor? He's standing right over there.
Yeah, but I play football. Oh, so, you know what I mean?
So you're not impressed by football players?
I mean, I am.
You're a punter, dude. You're a punter.
Oh, 100%. I am. But, I mean, still, it's just, you know what I mean? It's just kind of crazy seeing people.
It is. David Chapo, University of Louisville, but you've had an incredible college career. Like in San Antonio at UTSA, Frank Harris played there for 7 years. You've had a 7-year college career that's been very different than, say, Frank Harris or some of the others. Talk about your journey to where you got.
Yeah, I started at the Air Force Academy. I enjoyed football there. School was tough and everything else was tough. I mean, that kind of happened in 2019 when COVID and everything happened. I kind of really, before I signed a commitment, I made a decision that just kind of wasn't the path for me. Because of COVID and getting out of the military, I got screwed over for a year. So I was ineligible for a year. Went to East Carolina, played for 2 years. Didn't really see the playing time I wanted to. Graduated. Said I'm just going to move on. Went to Central Michigan. My brother came with me out of high school. So we went and played together. I thought that was my last year. Went and played. It was fun. November of 2024, my buddy was like, I think you could possibly get another year from that year that I got screwed over. So I had 4 different waivers that I could have. So we worked that. Took the NCAA 7 months to approve it.
Wow.
So end of July, I get approved. Reached out to about 115 schools, see if they had roster spot or if they were looking for a punter, and then Louisville was just looking for a guy.
And you ended up at Louisville.
I did.
And with Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at porkrinds.com, their Crunch Time Hero of the Week award, a social media campaign all raising money for the Archer Foundation.
Yep.
And all the different award winners this year, a punter ends up winning. A punter and a holder. How?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the fans a lot of my friends too.
Yeah.
Reaching out. It was based on who could get the most shares. We got about 18,500 shares. And that's just a tribute to just the people that I know that just shared it with their family and friends and just everyone that just shared it. And it was kind of something I was like, well, this could be a real fun experience. So I'm just going to this is my job for the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
It's just share it to people and try to get them to share it. And that's kind of how I treated it.
And of course, each share raised money, which is cool, but you also end up winning the award. And you're here on Radio Row. You get all kinds of benefits.
Exactly.
In your wildest imagination, you're a punter and a holder. Now, your play was pretty sensational.
Yeah.
Tell me about the play itself.
Play itself was fun. It was stressful. at the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, I mean, we go up to the play, we call it. I'm like, dang,
it's a fake. You're holding. It's a fake.
We're not going to score a touchdown. Like, we're about to go for a field goal.
Yeah.
And we're probably on this 2-yard line. We go. I'm kind of like any regular dude, right? It's first time running, so tunnel vision, just straight tunnel vision. So I ran straight into their best player, number 8, and
this was against Louisville against Miami, right? And you guys knocked off Miami.
Yep.
That actually ended up playing in the national championship game. Pretty impressive. So, but you could have scored. I've seen the video.
If I stepped left, score. Step right, score.
But your eyes were closed.
I like really don't remember what happened. So I looked at the video and I had the ball in my right hand, right? And somehow I stretched it out with my left hand. And I never understood that transition of how on earth that ball. I'm surprised that it didn't just get knocked back and fumbled. Like it was kind of floating in the air.
And you didn't score.
Nope.
But you got the first down.
And then we ended up scoring.
And then they ended up scoring. Now, what you were telling us at dinner last night, you kind of hurt yourself on the play, and now you were worried about dropping the hold on the extra point.
I mean, so like as a kicker, I mean, as a punter too, like your adrenaline wants to just stay calm. Like you want to just like, I'm listening to music, like calm music before games. Like I'm just staying as calm as possible and just trying to just kind of be present. So your adrenaline just shoots through the roof, and you're kind of like your heart's beating out of your chest, and you're just kind of like flipping out. And you're just like, all right, like I'm gonna try to chill out, be as de-stressed as possible. So yeah.
And you ended up knocking off Miami, and now you're here on Radio Row. What's the weirdest question you've been asked today doing all these interviews?
I don't know. It's not really any weird questions. It's just a lot about the foundation and pork rinds, and I mean, I guess Peyton Tuber asked me like about the kickoff rule. New kickoff rule, what my thoughts were and stuff like that.
Well, that's kind of interesting because as you're trying to make it on an NFL, eventually get a camp invite, hopefully have an NFL career. That's the goal. Chase football for as long as you can, man.
Yeah.
Chase football as long as you can. And as a punter, you can do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's not taxing on the body.
It's the easiest gig out there.
It is.
I mean, some people, are you really a player? Like we've got a guy named Indy Kalu that comes on our show all the time, and he was a defensive end. He doesn't think kickers are real athletes. They're not real players.
It's like golfers, though. You look at John Daly. He's drinking beer on the golf course, but he's won multiple majors. It's all what's in your head.
True. That's
for kickers. That's how the sport's made.
Great analogy with it. So how often are you drinking while you're working out?
Not a lot. No.
Not a lot?
No,
oh, come on. Come on.
Drinking a lot of water.
Yeah, maybe. One of the cool things with the Crunch Time Hero Award is it benefits the Archer Foundation. And Melissa Hill is joining us here on Radio Row. Now, Melissa, I've known your family for a long time and everything that you went through with Archer. For people that, and I hate to do this to you, but for people that aren't familiar with the Archer Foundation and Archer, can you kind of share your journey?
Yes, absolutely. Archer was our youngest of 3 boys. He had 2 teenage brothers, which explained a lot of his inappropriate, sassy behavior. But when Archer was in kindergarten, he was diagnosed with a really aggressive type of brain cancer, one we never knew existed in the world of brain cancer. And it really turned our lives completely upside down, understandably. It's a terminal diagnosis, things that we just never knew. We think you always, when you hear brain cancer, you think there's a surgery, there's a treatment, there's something. And to be told, my husband and I, that there's nothing. And then you have to face that head on with a 5-year-old little boy and figure out what life looks like for however much time you have. And luckily with Archer, he showed us how to walk that journey because he did it every single day with joy, with gratitude, never felt sorry for himself for a minute on days that he really felt like we felt like he could have. And in doing that, we had him 5 months and 2 days. It's very aggressive. Families diagnosed usually have less than a year. We just knew with his legacy, walking this earth without him, we would need to do something to make a journey better for a family like ours. And so that's what we do now, is find them and serve the way he would want us to.
Archer-foundation.org is the website. And it's unfortunate that if you're a parent and your kid gets this diagnosis, you know that it is 100% terminal at this point, but you guys can help along the way.
Absolutely.
And the work that you guys are doing, and just kind of knowing from the outside what you guys were going through, tremendous that you have the strength to do this to help others.
Yeah. Well, we got it from him. I will tell you that. And we're a family of faith, and families like ours, when the world says it's hopeless, we decide to help them see that there is still hope to be had. And we believed it beyond Archer's last breath here on earth, that there is still hope to be had. And so that's what we do. The money we raise, every single dollar of it goes directly to families to make sure that life can be a little less heavy on dark days. And we look to help them make memories, which so many people did for us. Archer spent a day with the Cowboys where he became probably the best coach in their history for a few short minutes. And so we look for ways to help them find joy in their journey.
Melissa Hill with the Archer Foundation. And, David, you'll appreciate this. When he was doing that deal with the Cowboys, his favorite player, Brandon Aubrey.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's full circle. This was meant to be. David Chapo, the Crunch Time Hero of the Year from porkrinds.com. Guys, enjoy your time on Radio Row.
Thank you, Jason.
Sure, thank you.
All right, fantastic interview, Jason, there with the Crunch Time Hero. The hits just keep coming, though. We've got someone coming up who played in the NFL and played it very well. Kyle Rudolph joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room cope. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Our AA Best Bell Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. More behind the scenes access is coming up next on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars $50K Big Game Giveaway. Predict the exact score of the big game in Santa Clara, California, and you could score $50,000. Make your predictions now at sasportstar.com. The $50K Big Game Giveaway, brought to you by Dietz Tractor. Score big with Dietz Tractor in Seguin and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Eczema flaring up again. We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
What's wrong, Cupid? Lost my mojo. These arrows just don't work like they used to. The facts are people fall in love thanks to Connecticut, not poor old Cupid. You don't say. Oh, absolutely. Look over there. She's got silky smooth hair thanks to a Connecticut water softener. He's got softer skin and cleaner clothes, and now they're all lovey-dovey. Makes me sick. Don't feel bad, Cupid. You still have your bow and arrow. I know a Connecticut runs on kinetic energy like my bow and arrow. There's no computer to break. A Connecticut has it all. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country.
You know, you're right. I love my Connecticut too. My diaper has never looked so white. And my wings, oh, I look good.
Cupid, you can always come to work for me, but you're going to have to wear pants.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
It's San Antonio's newest sports watching destination, Novo Brazil Brewing Company. Craft beers, kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, 8 massive LED screens conveniently attached to North Star Mall, open late. Novo Brazil Brewing Company. Go to novobrew.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, March 30th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $150 per person or $500 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting fitting animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chunk Club, and Ancira.com. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, March 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
We're back on a Thursday, getting close to the Super Bowl on Sunday out in San Francisco, or Santa Clara exactly. I'm Joe Reinigle here in San Antonio. Jason Minix is out on Radio Row in San Francisco, and another spectacular guest. Jason.
Yeah. Kyle Rudolph joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. One of the great tight ends of the game, Pro Bowl MVP. So I'm curious, when you were watching, Kyle, the Pro Bowl the other day, did you enjoy that?
The Pro Bowl has certainly gone downhill. I think once we moved it from Hawaii and kind of tried to make it something that it's not, we haven't quite been able to figure it out. Ultimately, the Pro Bowl is not going to be a full-speed, competitive 22 best players in the world going at it. But what the Pro Bowl is a celebration of the 22 best players in the world that aren't playing in the Super Bowl the week later. And I think when we trying to do things to make it competitive as opposed to just it is what it is. The offensive linemen aren't going to play hard. The receivers might run routes and DBs will cover them. It's 7-on-7. And then who knows if it's a close game at the end. My first one was not a very close game. My second one, I'll never forget. We were in 2 minutes with Jared Goff as our quarterback trying to go down and score to win the game and get, an additional $25K for being the winners. So to me, that's what the Pro Bowl is. It's a celebration. When it was in Hawaii, there was a ton of camaraderie with all the guys. And I was a second-year player. Couldn't believe I was in Hawaii for the Pro Bowl and around, future Hall of Famers everywhere, soaking up as much of their time as I possibly could at the pool, hanging out, doing things like that. That's what the Pro Bowl is all about, not having a 7-on-7 flag football event in the convention center.
Kyle, it's interesting that you say that, and I agree with you. The Pro Bowl is just not what it used to be. But it looked like those guys were out there just horsing around and having some fun, trying to make it entertaining for the fans. Is that what it's come down to, the players just trying to somehow entertain everybody?
Yeah, I think you look at the last few Pro Bowls and you got, receivers playing DBs, trying to do double passes, receivers playing quarterback, DBs playing receiver. So I guess if you're not going to do it the way it used to be, and I'm not saying like my first Pro Bowl 2013, 2012 season, like Eric Berry, the great safety for the Chiefs. Like I'll never forget, I caught a seam ball and he hit me so hard, that was the game. Like that's how it was. Now I had to block, incredible edge rushers from the AFC, and they were easy to block. Like we didn't go hard in the trenches, but when we threw the ball downfield, like the ball's in the air, we're going to go after it. We're going to go get it. So again, like ultimately I get it. The fans want to see if we're in pads and we're playing, they want to see guys going at it. They don't want to see the linemen kind of patty caking and, it is what it is. If we would have just left it the way it was, I think it would have been far better. And I also think you'd see less guys to say, you know what? I don't want to go if the game was in Hawaii.
Well, I mean, it's because it's a free trip to Hawaii, right?
100%. That was a huge part of it.
I mean, here, I guess, we talked to C.D. Lamb yesterday, and all the Pro Bowlers are in the same hotel, so the camaraderie's there, but it ain't the same. And he said they had fun. Players had fun. And at what point do you go, okay, as long as the players are having fun, that's one thing, even though the criticism is going to be there. And C.D. said, I get it. I mean, if he wasn't in it, I don't know if he'd watch it. Did you watch the whole thing?
I didn't watch any of it.
Any of it?
No, I didn't watch any of it. Obviously, if all the players were having fun, we wouldn't have two quarterbacks on the AFC roster that played on the same team and one threw 4 touchdowns and one started less than 10 games. So I get it. The guys are gonna be like, "Oh, it was great. We hung out and there's camaraderie and in the hotel and all that stuff." But these guys don't know what camaraderie was like when you have your walkthrough at 10 a.m. and by noon you're at the pool, hanging out in Hawaii, drinking beers all day. It's like no wonder guys can't go out and perform on Sunday. Like we've been drinking for 5 days straight. That's camaraderie. Not playing video games in your hotel room.
No doubt. I love that. That's outstanding. Kyle, I have to ask you a question though. When you're there, obviously the Super Bowl, when you see Sam Darnold as the quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, as a longtime Viking, does that make you sad?
No, I mean, I think you're happy for him. Ultimately the Vikings decided that they were going to go in a different direction. And obviously they had a top 10 draft pick kind of waiting in the wings. And they had made the decision that, this is going to be our guy moving forward. So, he found a place in Seattle that is a great fit for him. And they had a ton of success this year. And, he's on a complete team with a great defense and a run game. And, that's why you see the Seattle Seahawks representing the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Well, and again, you look at maybe some Vikings fans regret that they make the right choice, but from the business side of football, and you certainly understand that since you played, they made a choice, and Sam Darnold is certainly benefiting. And we're in Cowboys country. DeMarcus Lawrence. You look up at the banner over there. The two guys featured, DeMarcus Lawrence and Sam Darnold, first-year Seahawk players.
Yeah, no, you got to give Seattle credit. They went out and got guys that came in, believed in what they were building there. Bought into the culture, and here they are in the Super Bowl, just a couple years removed from a coaching change.
Kyle, is J.J. McCarthy in your mind the guy, or do the Vikings need to go out and get somebody else?
I think the jury can still be out. I feel like in today's NFL with these young quarterbacks, it's like you're either the guy or you're not the guy right away, and like that's insanity we've ruined our perception of quarterbacks in the NFL, and we judge immediately based on all right, this guy, he's not the guy, he can't do it. It's like he's played 12 games in the NFL. How would you say this guy's not the guy? Now, saying that, I do think they need to still go out and get a veteran quarterback. I've said it a few times at the beginning of this offseason. I think that was the big mistake they made last year. I know of multiple veteran quarterbacks who would have loved to have been in Minnesota, but didn't really want to go because they felt like this isn't an open competition. If I go there, J.J. McCarthy's going to be the guy, or I have to look over my shoulder all season knowing that if I make a mistake, they're going to want to put the young kid in, and that's just hard for a quarterback to play. I think if they would have had a true open competition with a veteran quarterback last year, JJ wins, great. You get the best out of him. If he doesn't win, who cares? Green Bay did it with 2 quarterback transitions where, their first-round pick sat on the bench for at least 2 years, and it worked out pretty well for them.
Kyle Rudolph joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Who's your favorite or two favorite tight ends to watch in today's NFL?
I think you look at what Trey McBride did this past year, just putting up insane numbers, put up huge numbers last year and one touchdown. So it's like, how do you catch 100 balls and only have one, especially as a tight end? Like, we're known as the go-to guy in the red zone. So to see him come out this year and, have double-digit touchdowns with the 125 or whatever catches was impressive. Obviously, here in San Francisco, you have a guy in George Kittle. I know it was a tough year for him from an injury standpoint, but George is a guy that I love. And then I love watching your guys' tight end down in Dallas. I think Jake Ferguson's a great player. So, yeah, I would say, probably George and Trey. Trey put up incredible numbers, and to me, George is one of the last guys that truly does it the old school way. He'll go and mix it up in the run game. He'll pass protect, and then he'll go out and make plays in the pass game as well.
Kyle, Dak Prescott said yesterday that Jake Ferguson is his best friend. Is that typical among NFL teams? I mean, you guys are known as a quarterback security blanket. You get open when nobody else can.
Yeah, I think as a tight end, it's something that you take pride in. You always want to be the guy that, look, in the NFL, it's hard. You can have great scheme. You can run great routes. It's not like college football where you see guys just running wide open all the time. So, those quarterbacks, they have to make throws in which there's a trust factor. Like, hey, I'm making this throw. He's not really open, but I believe that, my guy's going to make a play or something bad's not going to happen. So, like, for me, I was always trying to have that rapport with my quarterback. Unfortunately, I had about 13 of them over the course of my year. So I was always starting over. Every offseason, it was like, okay, back to square one. We got to get a new rapport with the quarterback again. But you always, as a tight end, you take great pride in, okay, you trust me. You're going to make these tough throws. I'm going to either make a tough catch or make sure nothing bad happens.
Kyle Rudolph here on the Blitz. We've been talking long enough, and since Joe hasn't manned up to ask a question about this yet, I will. When is Notre Dame going to join a conference, or why does Notre Dame refuse to join a conference?
Well, let me ask you this question. If you were making more money than anyone else, would you share it with anyone?
Well, no.
No, and that's why we'll never be in a conference because, like, the rule, and I'm comfortable saying this, and I wish more people would just accept it. As long as we have the NBC contract, the rules that apply to everyone else don't apply to us. Like, it's the fact of the matter. Go look at the TV ratings of Notre Dame's championship run last year. There was a stat release, like ACC schools sell out at an average of like 23% of their games. The whole ACC. Well, we have to play 5 ACC games a year per our contract with all of our other sports. 98% of those games sell out. Like, Notre Dame is a national, global brand. It moves the needle. That's why we'll never join a conference. Until there's if you can't make the college football playoff unless you're in a conference, it'll never happen.
Well, and I'm curious, Kyle, if that's going to be the case, because I know that Notre Dame was upset that they didn't make the playoffs this year and have been guaranteed if they are in top 12 or better that they will. I don't know if it'll ever come down to that, but it seems like it's going that way.
Well, so a lot of people don't know we've had that agreement in place all the way back to BCS games. Notre Dame, if they were ranked in the top 12, was guaranteed a spot in a BCS bowl. That's like, that story came out magically. Oh, by the way, that was agreed on over a year prior. But it magically broke when Notre Dame was left out of the college football playoff. Oh, look at this rule that they just made. Now Notre Dame gets in if they're in the top. That had been in place for over a year. And we had that same deal all the way back, dating back to the BCS that people don't talk about. But I am the first one to say, if you're Notre Dame, people are like, oh, do you feel like Notre Dame got left out? I'm like, well, Notre Dame had 2 chances to just handle their own business. Beat Texas A&M, don't drop the PAT at the end of the game and beat Texas A&M, or stop them on 4th and 10 when you're up 6, or beat Miami on the road. So Notre Dame can absolutely handle their own business. And I think, if you're Notre Dame, moving forward, like, Go win 11 games, and you're not going to have to worry about this.
Kyle, and you talk about handling your own business. You're doing some business here with Taste of the NFL here in Super Bowl City in San Francisco. Why is it so important for you?
Well, I think, for me, first of all, Gen Youth is the beneficiary of Taste of the NFL, and Gen Youth is a national nonprofit that fights the battle of, food insecurity in our schools. And we live in an incredible country, and for people to think like 1 in 5 kids are food insecure and aren't sure where their next meal is going to come from is just crazy to fathom. So Gen Youth does an incredible job. Taste the NFL is the biggest philanthropic event around the Super Bowl every year, raising millions of dollars that will go back into not just the San Francisco market, but all 32 club markets across the country to fight that food insecurity and try to end student hunger.
It's going to be an incredible event, as it always is, one of the best during Super Bowl week. Kyle, appreciate you stopping by today.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Kyle Rudolph here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. And, we tell people all the time, Joe, I mean, even if you don't get tickets to the game, go to Super Bowl City Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, stay through some of the parties and the events like Taste of the NFL, and they either fly out late Saturday night or early Sunday and watch the game at home.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much fun. There's so much going on that, it is well worth the trip to go and seeing all the people that you get to see, and they're all over the place. And so I appreciate Kyle Rudolph, although I thought he was getting a little irritated with us with the Notre Dame questions. He did step up there at the end and say, they got to handle their own business. So I appreciate that. But they're not going to join a conference unless they're absolutely forced to do so.
Although he was absolutely right. When you're making more money than anybody else and you're not being forced to, why would you? And at least they're honest about it.
Well, I guess
or
so.
At least he is.
I like Kyle Rudolph, but the team he played for in college, not so much.
Well, it's funny because when we were talking before he came on, I was like, yeah, Joe's in San Antonio. And he's like, he's the Notre Dame hater, right? And I'm like, yep.
What? Oh, wow. My reputation precedes me, I guess, huh?
You remembered it from last year.
Wow. Yeah, that's
before that.
I can't believe he remembers that. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Are you kidding? Yeah, one guy with better hair than you.
Oh, my gosh. Kyle Rudolph was one hell of a tight end, that is for sure, and a tough guy. Hey, Jason, we've got some tickets we need to give away. Take care of a little business. Frankie Quinones is at the Aztec Theater. He is coming up, Wednesday, February the 12th, 7 o'clock. He's been on Netflix, Hulu, HBO, all of that kind of stuff. He's the genius behind Juanita Cholo Fit and those viral wellness checks. Hey, if you're from San Antonio, this humor hits a little bit different. You win tickets all week, either on the Morning Huddle or right here on the Blitz. And, of course, if you don't win your tickets now, you can always get them at livenation.com. Frankie Quinones of the Aztec Theater. Minix, what do you think? Caller number what?
Well, we've got Michael Irvin, the Playmaker, coming up in just a couple of minutes. His quarterback war number 8. So let's call caller 8.
Caller number 8 at 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Caller number 8. You're going to win a pair of tickets to go see Frankie Quinones at the Aztec Theater Wednesday, February the 12th. And you heard Jason just say it, the Playmaker, Michael Irvin. He's going to join us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
As we think about Michael Irvin going to join us here in a couple of minutes here in San Francisco, we're all here as we get ready for the biggest game in football, which is coming up this Sunday. You want to get in on all the action you can on Underdog. And if you haven't signed up for Underdog yet, I don't know why, but good news, new customers score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. And playing is easy and it's fun. You just open up the app and you make picks on if a player will go higher or lower on stats like receiving yards, rushing yards, touchdowns. I always look at kicking points. I also like to look at, like Drake May's rushing yards or Rashid Shaheed, his rushing yards. You look at that stat projection, higher, lower. Make your guess, get them all right. You could win up to 5,000 times your cash. And they've got new promos dropping daily in the app. So if you like making picks and winning money, Underdog is the place to be for the big game. So open up and go to the Underdog app, download it, use promo code STAR when you get signed up to score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5 in fantasy. Promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Our AA Best Bail Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. More Wall to Wall continues next on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is KTFM Floresville and streaming online at sasportstar.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-7098.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-7098. That's 800-575-7098.
Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify. Order Smoky Mo's Texas Barbecue for your big game watch party. For a limited time, the rib pack is available just for the big game with 3 pounds of mouth-watering ribs and home-style sides of your choice. Feed your crowd with game day favorites. For 26 years, Smoky Mo's has created craft-level barbecue with great neighborhood value. Smoky Mo's is great Texas barbecue served fast and friendly with 8 convenient locations in San Antonio. Stop by or order Smoky Mo's for pickup or delivery at SmokyMo'sBBQ.com.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really helped me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1073. 800-499-1073. 800-499-1073.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, you can upgrade to a queen mattress and adjustable base for just $499.99. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the NBA trade deadline has come and gone. The Spurs have decided to stand pat. They will be in action tonight in Dallas, so taking on the Mavs. 7:30 tip-off from Big D. Now, the biggest move of the last 24 hours was the Warriors shipping Jonathan Kuminga to the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for Kristaps Porzingis. And San Francisco and the Rams, they will play in that game in Melbourne, Australia this season. The date and time to be announced later.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Live from San Francisco, it's The Blitz, broadcasting from AA Best Bell Bonds Radio Row ahead of Sunday's game. Here's Jason Minix and Joe Reinagle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Boy, what a day it has been on Radio Row, that's for sure. A lot of just a star-studded afternoon with all the guests that have rolled by to talk with us here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Happy that you all are a part of it on this Thursday. And the cherry on top is expected any minute, the playmaker, Michael Irvin.
And no surprise, Joe Reinagle, that the Playmaker is running late, trying to get an ETA. Now, their PR people just sent some stuff on that Netflix special that he is working on. Although I haven't seen him in the building, so I think we're actually the first interview that he'll have of the day. And if he is in traffic, good Lord, we will see. Now, we've texted trying to get an ETA. Waiting to hear a response. And, who knows? Because it's Michael Irvin, and watching that man try to walk through a convention center like this could take a while.
There's no doubt about it. He will be swamped. There's no question. So whether when he gets there, look, Michael Irvin, he can sit down whenever he wants to, and it's going to be just fine with us. So stay tuned for that. Michael Irvin is on his way, and we'll visit with the Playmaker here coming up in just a moment. Just an interesting day, though, Jason, all the way around there on Radio Row. Some fantastic guests. And, at least one tight end showed up today, Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph, he always delivers. Dalton Schultz, and I don't know, do you get mad at Dalton or the handlers that schedule this, that got him way behind schedule and never on schedule? But, in this case, we'll just blame Dalton Schultz. We'll call him the Diplo. And I see Michael Irvin coming around the way. So he's almost here. Stand by. Hang on, Joe.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
We go. What's up, man? How's
everything?
Oh,
Here we go.
Absolutely. Michael, over here. He went the wrong way. He wants to go say hi to Lindsey Rhodes, and I certainly understand that.
Absolutely understand that. Folks are tuning in, getting ready for the Playmaker on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Looking forward to hearing what Michael Irvin has to say. And
I'll tell you, get his jewelry on. Yeah.
Well,
that's what we're doing.
This Netflix
radio. Michael, can we get you right over here?
This Netflix thing looks fascinating. It really does.
Well, it's Michael Irvin on Netflix. It's going to be great. He's got to figure out. He's coming on camera, getting the chains on.
Of course.
Getting ready to go, rocking and rolling. live radio, sitting down. The Playmaker. Now, Joe Reinagle's back in San Antonio, Michael.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. How you doing, man?
Fantastic, man. How's your day going?
Man, my day's great. My day just, it's always great. We're here at another Super Bowl. Not like I would like it, but it is a Super Bowl. I wish, I wish the team that wore the star was here, but it's just not the situation right now. But it's, yeah, and it's San Francisco. So I'm happy. It's good.
Michael, I bet when you show up in San Francisco, though, people don't like you much here, do they? I mean, you cause a lot of problems for those 49er fans.
Yeah, it's not as easy here as it would be at other places. All the places that I kind of set my footprint in the sand and left that footprint of greatness stamped on the fans. Yeah, they don't like that too much. But it's always interesting here, though, because I got so much respect for the guys. And we play the games we played here in San Francisco against the 49ers. To me, they were some of the best games that were ever played, those rivalries. So, people, they don't like me, but they have fun memories of great games, and that's great football.
Well, that's true as we visit with Michael Irvin here, but I think they love you everywhere you go, man. We were at the Shannon Sharp party last night, and I saw you walk in, and, all of them there, the guy that had the hardest time getting through the crowd was you.
Yeah, there's I don't even know how to explain this post-career thing that has been circulating around me. All I'm doing is enjoying the game. Even through the Miami championship run, everybody, Michael, where's Michael? Where's Michael on the sideline? Listen, man. Don't get mad at me. I am not telling these mugs to put me on this damn TV. I'm watching the game. I have nothing to do with them keep putting me on. I don't control the cameras. I don't control the cameraman. There's a director. I need people to understand how TV works. There's a director telling camera 5, go shoot this. Camera 6, shoot this. I am not the guy in the box telling camera 5, shoot Michael. Camera 8, shoot Mike. I'm just watching the game. You see what I'm saying? I'm just enjoying the great game, and people get crazy about it. But I'm gonna tell you, there was nothing more fun than that championship run for Miami, and I can't wait to experience that with the Cowboys, having that kind of thing, man. And maybe if the Cowboys get on a run, I could bring that BTA to Cowboys, that belt to ass for NFL teams too, you know what I'm saying? But we got to get on the run. It doesn't work right when we lose, you know what I'm saying? You need a run.
Now, Michael, anywhere you are, man, they're going to put you on camera because you're Michael Irvin. And you were excited, man. You got into the games there with that championship run for Miami. I thought it was fantastic, and I enjoyed watching you.
Yeah, you know what? Let me tell people this, because this is what people don't understand. People, the last few years, we had, that was our first time in the college football playoffs for Miami. And, you get people saying, oh, why are these guys here, Michael Irvin, Ray Lewis, Eric Reed, why are you guys on the sideline taking away from these kids? We do a Legends Camp in Miami. We do it every year, right? That means all the NFL legends come back. We coach the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th graders every year. that has hopes and dreams of going to Miami. Those kids are the kids on the team now. You see, so we know these kids even when they were younger trying to get into Miami, and now they're into Miami. So we've always talked about this is our family. It's a youth thing. We show up for these legend camps. We show up for fantasy camps where we teach kids every year. So it's about the commitment to the program. It's about you have to put in the work that we have put in and hold up the program. So, seeing us around the program, nobody sees it because we don't go to the college football playoffs. This was the first year we went to college football playoffs. Now everybody sees it and they're like, what are those guys doing? We've been doing this. Y'all just got your eyeballs on this now.
Absolutely.
Because it was our first time. And what a hell of a run that was, because it was a run where everybody, especially all the people on the CFP committee, kept saying, we can clearly see that Notre Dame is the better team, or this is the better team, or this is. And every stop we made, we were underdogs, and that's what football is all about. It ain't about something you write on a piece of paper. It ain't about a bunch of old white guys that can't play the game sitting in a room trying to come up with some decisions about the game. It's about what happens on the football field, and we got to get it back to what's happening on the football field. Not just in college football, but also in this damn Hall of Fame. What the hell? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? How are you keeping Bill Belichick out of the Hall of Fame? You're hurting so many people work, because the Hall of Fame can't be a Hall of Fame if the one that deserves to be in more than anybody in the Hall of Fame is not in. That's how I see that. So it's just crazy.
And that coming from a Hall of Famer in Michael Irvin, joining us here on the Blitz. And I think, all the sideline stuff there in the Miami run, your energy. You go to any Cowboy game before kickoff, it's a Michael Irvin video to fire up the crowd. I mean, you run on 15 on a scale of 10. I mean, it's always high energy.
It's always, and it's a natural energy. It's not a substance energy. I got to put this out here because I get tired of people with that, man. They've sat there and stared at me for the last 5 hours. They know damn well cocaine don't last no 5 hours. It just trips me out, man. Look at Mike. He coked up right now. You ain't watching me for 5 damn hours. What are you saying to me? I'm like, we got to stop this, man. We have to stop. And then people act like they don't know. Y'all know. Stop acting like you ain't never did anything. and that's another thing. I swear to y'all. I say this. I remember them days being high. And every time I looked at anybody on TV anywhere, I said, damn, he high. You say that because you high. You know what I'm saying? Y'all never noticed that. I know y'all think back to the time y'all were high, y'all saw somebody on TV, y'all say, he high. You know what I mean? But he don't be high. I used to think the same thing until I had to face my demons and say, no, dog. That's just you high. You got to put it down and leave the people alone.
Yeah, but with that energy, though, I know a lot of us are like, I want what you have. I want what you're on.
Hey, and I read some of the comments because they're always funny. They're always funny. I mean, the people be having me, oh, my God. And this AI and all this stuff they come up with, this is funny stuff. I mean, it's really good stuff. So I don't mind. It's funny to me, man, but I love it. I love it. People are always bringing it up, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, But if you got, the reason they got to keep hitting them boats every time they come across the water is because they know you're going to pay a lot of money. That thing lasting 5 to 7 minutes, and you back at it again. That's why. And I've been out here for 5 hours. For 5 hours.
That's good stuff.
Hey, man, that joke is funny, man.
That's hilarious.
Funny.
That is hilarious. Hey, Michael, I got
the truth is funny.
It's hilarious. And I'm glad that you addressed that because, that's all you saw all over the place. And Michael's on this and he's doing that. So I'm glad you addressed that, man. That's good.
Yeah, it's all good. I don't mind, though, because that's the new currency. You're never going to get people to be 100% with you. It doesn't matter. If you can roll a 70-30 or 65-35, somewhere up in there, you're doing pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind that 35% sending all them Tony Montana memes and all of this stuff. That joke is funny, man. I love it.
All right, Mike, because we're laughing, we're having fun. I feel like I'm going to bring down the room by asking a damn Cowboys question, right? I mean, I go back to when you were coming on with us every Wednesday, even like when Datwin was my co-host and Joe and Rob. And it's, when are the Cowboys going to be in this game? And this year, no laughing matter on that defense. How can they get it fixed?
I had dinner with Coach. I was at dinner with Coach the other night, 2 nights ago, right before I came here. The night before I came here. What night was that? A couple nights ago. Him and his family were at Catch in Dallas. So we had a great conversation about that. And I told Coach Schottenheimer, I said, man, I was pleasantly surprised with how things went this year. But I saw hope and a glimpse of what can be next year. It's just about getting that offense more consistent. You see what they have. And they have an ability to put up 30, 35 points a game. They just have to do it more consistently at home. At home last year, they were putting up 40 points a game. 40 points a game. Now, what's key here is Jerry has to make sure. You got to get George Pickens signed and get him in camp. We don't need another long, drawn-out process again that zaps the energy of the season coming up with not having a Michael Parsons. Oh, CeeDee Lamb's not here. Oh, doing Dak Prescott. Every offseason we've been going through that. So you get that offense intact, and then you go and build that defense, and you'll have a chance, I believe, to be in this game next year because they have that offense. And if they can, and I love the push they get up the middle of the football field with Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark. That's going to be the base of this defense now. You go find some edge rushers and you get some secondary, you get some linebackers. You got to get some linebacker help. Linebacker. That's another thing too. Linebacker play is almost, it's just not the same in the NFL anymore. Because everybody, we're passing so much. And what we're doing is taking like tweeners, the safeties that really should be safeties and moving them at linebacker and stuff. It's just, man, Dallas got to get better linebackers.
Yeah, there's no question about it. There's a lot that they need on that defense. But, Michael, you are absolutely right with Pickens. And Jerry better than any of us. Is he going to sign him, or are they going to put the franchise tag on him?
Well, they're going to use that franchise tag scare to the end of the game. Hey, you sign this deal now, or we're going to use the franchise tag, sign the deal, or we're going to use the franchise tag. I hope and pray that that's not the situation. You just got a George Pickens. He wants to be here. He's at his best year. So, I hope you get something done by rewarding him, saying a great year. But now here's the kicker to all of that. George Pickens has to be a man about this. And I love Michael Parsons. But Michael Parsons let another man run his thing for him. Michael Parsons did not win. The only person won in that Michael Parsons deal wasn't Jerry or it wasn't Michael Parsons. It was the agent. It was only the agent because he got, Michael Parsons gets $47 million a year in new money. That starts next year. You put in this year, it was $42 million a year. Jerry was already at 40 or 41. You were that close to getting the deal done, and now you got to spend half your life in Green Bay, and every chance you get, you sprint out of there like a young Carl Lewis and Ben Johnson. You out of there. You know what I'm saying? I see him back at he's all at the fair in Dallas. I said, hey, man, what you doing back here, man? You don't get out of here. Get on back to Green Bay. He don't want to hear that. I talked to his family. I said, man, y'all move to Green Bay. He said, we ain't leaving Dallas. That's what I'm saying. So how did you win? So you're going to spend the rest of your life You're going to play in Green Bay. Now, at the end of your life, you're going to come back to Dallas. You ain't never going back to Green Bay. You ain't never going back to Green Bay. I try to tell young guys that are going into college. I said, what are you guys doing? They're big-time players in Miami, and they're asking me, do I go to Miami or West Virginia? I said, dude, you don't even have a dilemma. What are you talking about? Do you want 4 years, or do you want a Michael Irvin run like 45, 50 years? You see what I mean? Because if you go to West Virginia, you can have 3, 4 great years, but you ain't never going back there again. Your whole family's in Miami. You come and have 4 years here, your family can live like kings forever. You got to be smart. This is business. It is business. Don't just play this business for the 3, 4, 5 years you're going to be playing it. Set it up for the 30, 40, 50 years. Like Mike Irvin.
Like Michael Irvin, who's now got this great Netflix special or show. Tell me about what you're doing with Netflix.
Man, and I love Netflix. I love the work we're doing. You know, I got my podcast. We call them podcasts, but you know what I'm saying. It's podcast, video. But and we call it the White House. I tagged it the White House, you know. First of all, let's talk about you. There's no name you know more in this world, or no house that anyone has ever mentioned more in this world than the White House. You know, everybody knows the White House, and we wanted to run towards that. And what's in the White House? In the White House, they have a situation room. That's where they go and go over the situation. Everybody comes on the White House podcast of has, let's just call them situations, if you know what I mean. So we can come in the White House and freely discuss our situations. Y'all can come in the White House as guests, freely discuss whatever situation you may have in your life, even if nobody knows about it. And no matter what happens, if the police waiting outside the door, we can stop that too. As the White House will give you a pardon right then and there. We'll pardon you for whatever you did and let it move. But I told Jimmy Kimmel last night, I said, man, we're trying to get you to my White House so you can talk about the situation you had with his White House, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying. And come on. And then I ended it with, you know, all the people that left my White House left with a happy ending. I don't know how you're going to leave the other White House, but over there they were happy, if you know what I'm saying.
Michael,
let me stop before I get y'all in trouble.
Michael, always great seeing you, man. Always great seeing you. It's been way too long.
I'm straight crazy. I'm all crazy.
Yeah,
great stuff, Michael.
All crazy. It's all
Joe,
good.
take it from here, man. We got
Great stuff, Michael. The great Michael Irvin. The Playmaker. Love that, man. That was good stuff. Oh, enjoyed. How do you not enjoy that? Michael Irvin at his best, without a doubt. The guy is just fantastic.
That's funny, man.
Oh, that was funny. Yes, I agree with you there. Michael Irvin, I hope y'all enjoyed that and stuck around for that, because that was just that's fantastic. He was on a roll. There is no doubt about it. Oh, my goodness. I don't know. We topped that, unfortunately, for us today. Well, and maybe we won't have to. We'll just let that one stand. My goodness. Lots happening out on Radio Row still, though. We got more to come out in San Francisco, and we're going to do that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Our AA Best Bail Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. More wall-to-wall coverage leading up to Sunday's big game continues next on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Big Game Giveaway. Predict the exact score of the big game in Santa Clara, California, and you could score $50,000. Make your predictions now at sasportstar.com. The 50K Big Game Giveaway, brought to you by Dietz Tractor. Score big with Dietz Tractor in Seguin and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Everyone says time is money. Time is not money. Money is better than time. You know what's better than money? More money. That's how we're changing the game at GiveMeTheVin.com. We're giving you more money for your car. It's a big transaction. We're important to that transaction. GiveMeTheVin.com. If we don't beat a CarMax offer, I'll send you a check for $100.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Now is the best time to buy a Connecticut water softener. With current models being closed out to make way for the new ones, you can save big. Call Connecticut at 656-PURE and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you. That's 656-PURE.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. If you're tired of pain slowing you down from a recent injury or something that's been nagging you for years, we can help. At Arasti, we've earned the trust of over 8,000 physicians by delivering fast, lasting pain relief without painkillers or surgery. Our hands-on approach targets the root cause of pain, and most patients see results in just one visit. No referral needed, and it's covered by most insurance plans. So don't wait. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti. We fix pain fast.
Hello, this is Jason Thompson, and as you know, I've been practicing law here in San Antonio for more than 30 years, helping people and families injured in traffic collisions. So I'm often asked, what is the worst thing you can do after a traffic collision? And the answer is easy. That's trying to handle it on your own without an attorney. Insurance companies have spent billions perfecting their strategy of paying nothing or as little as they can get away with. It wouldn't be David versus Goliath. It would be David versus a million Goliaths. You have no chance. Using AI for help is even worse because AI routinely gives dangerously inaccurate legal advice. It is laughably bad on the law. So bad that a lawyer filing a document drafted by AI will likely be disbarred in Texas. Keep it simple. Just call me. My name is Jason Thompson. I'll give you a free review of your case with no obligation to hire me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or my website, alawyerforus.com. That's alawyerforus.com.
Flu season has arrived, and according to the CDC, doctors' visits due to flu symptoms are the highest in 30 years. You can trust Exergen's new TAT 2000C Plus to give you accurate and reliable temperature readings for the whole family with just a gentle forehead scan. The Exergen thermometer technology has been proven accurate by more than 100 published clinical studies. And right now, the new Exergen TAT 2000C Plus is available on Amazon for less than $20. That's Exergen, EXERGEN on Amazon. Visit Amazon.com for Exergen today.
Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits is welcoming new furry family members. 6,000 square feet of indoor play, 5 outdoor yards, and trained staff for your pup. Call 210-750-1298 today. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at
March 30th. Lock in a team for just $500 for a foursome, or jump in solo for $150 per player and spend the day talking trash, crushing drives, and laughing your way around the course. This isn't a stuffy golf club tournament. It's golf the way it should be. The Spring Golf Classic benefits feeding animals at no-kill shelters across Texas. So you're having a great time for a great cause. Presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and Ansira.com. And when the last putt drops, the day is just getting started. Join us for the after party at the 90 Proof Bar at Lucky Ranch Road and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and all the post-round storytelling you can handle. So pick your tee, claim your spot, and tee up with San Antonio's Sports Star. Sign up your foursome now at sasportstar.com. Our AA Best Bail Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Oh, my goodness. I'm still laughing. Back here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Our radio row coverage brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. That was the highlight of the week, I would say. Michael Irvin, the Playmaker, he just joined us in the last segment. Hope you didn't miss it. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minnick's out in San Francisco. And Jason, I tell you what, Michael was on fire.
He always is, and that's just straight up Michael Irvin. And, fortunate to have known him for a long time, and it's just real. That's just Michael. I mean, you're laughing, you're joking, he's serious. Then his football talk on the Cowboys, I think, was spot on, making fun of Micah Parsons, and I think that is also spot on. This new Netflix pod bod thing that he's doing, they're on to something. I did not know the history of how they named it that, because you think Cowboys and Michael Irvin back in the day, and you think the White House. I think we're thinking about the parting room, and there's obviously a play on words there, but the whole situation room, because they all have it's well thought out, well done by Michael Irvin, his team, and the crew at Netflix.
Well, look, the best part of that interview for me was the fact that he's seen all the memes, he's seen all the comments about his antics or cheering on the sidelines of the Miami Hurricane games, and he loves it, and he just addresses it like he doesn't run from that stuff, and I think that's fantastic. I mean, he's not doing anything, that's just who he is, but I just love the fact that he can have some fun with that and enjoy it.
Michael Irvin is the same all the time, and this, having been around Michael Irvin when microphones aren't around, and at various Super Bowl parties from years past that you've been at. That's just Mike. I mean, his energy level is always at a point where he can make a cup of coffee nervous. I mean, he just runs at that high level, but smart, well thought out with what he is saying, and like I said, the funny mixed in with the good football. I mean, you're right. And CeeDee Lamb yesterday, Mike today, Emmitt Smith will be on tomorrow, and Emmitt's the one that really is just seemingly always pissed off that the Cowboys aren't in this game yet again.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he feels about the Cowboys and what they're doing. I mean, obviously, offensively, it's hard to criticize. Defensively, though, it was a clown show. That's for sure, and we all know that. So it's good stuff. Good stuff from Radio Row. It always is, each and every year. It doesn't make any difference what's going on or how it's happening. Jason, I got to ask you, though. I mean, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm not sure where you were going to go with there, but, because I saw the food that you guys have today at the station. Now, you realize Rob Thompson is out here, so you've got to do a lot of cleanup when Rob Thompson is around. And I don't know how it always goes that way, but there was a whole bunch of candy on the desk, and there's some other stuff. And one of the things they have here on Radio Row, now, it's wings every day for lunch. I am winged out at this point. That rib party pack they have for the big game at Smoky Mo's Barbecue is not likely. That's going to be what I'm going to end up doing on Sunday, because I want nothing to do with wings. But Rob has had this problem. They've got these little frozen Snickers bars that they have in a cooler over there. They're little bite-sized Snickers bars. Rob always forgets that you can't grab 10 of these and leave them on the table, because they're going to melt. Right? It's ice cream. He thinks they're regular candy bars. There are multiple of these things right here that have been here since, 7 o'clock this morning.
And they're no good anymore.
Well, yeah, because somebody just went to go grab a Snickers bar and realized it's melted ice cream inside of plastic. You can only imagine the mess that was just made thanks to Rob Thompson.
It's funny. Well, look, give the guy a break. It's early in the morning, right? I mean, he's probably not awake yet when that happens. I don't know.
Well, no. He's talked about the amount of ice cream bars that he's eaten, but he grabs them by the handful, and then he's pissed when he goes to eat one, and they're melted.
Well, there you go. I mean, maybe he needs a cooler. Go buy a cooler.
He could walk and get a new one.
Well, there's the problem. Walking and getting a new one. That's the problem.
But you guys had a ton of food there in the studio today.
Well, it's all thanks to Novo. I tell you what, it's a great place. In fact, let me just tell you about that, because you're squirming around there a little bit, Minix, like you need to run to the potty. I think he really had to go. That's for sure. But Jason was talking about where I had lunch today. And let me tell you about this great place that we have found. And it's my new go-to, without a doubt. Novo Brewery. This place is incredible. Now, it's attached to North Star Mall. It's attached. There are a couple of entrances. When the mall's open, you can walk through the mall and get there. If not, they've got their own entrance. And they're open late. This place has all the food that you would ever want. It is amazing. Anything from steaks all the way down to burgers, nachos, poke nachos, by the way, one of their specialties. We sampled a little bit of everything today. I had a burger that was absolutely fantastic. It was great. Let me tell you something. The French fries at this place are the best I think I've ever had. They are incredible. We also had some wings today and empanadas, and they've got a full menu. Not to mention the fact that when you go in there, it's a sports watching paradise. That's what it is. They've got 8 massive LED screens, over 80 feet of LED video walls. There is not a bad seat in the house at all. Not a bad seat in the house. They've got 60 craft beers, plus they have hard kombucha on draft. Now, I tried that kombucha when we were over there, Maggie and I, on Saturday, and it is fantastic. And they've got about 10 different flavors of that going. You can get a flight of that and just have it there and sample a little bit of all of it. Look, if you're looking for a place to go, a new place to go, an upscale place to go, Novo Brewery is the place you need to go. It is a fantastic place. It's their very first location in Texas. They're huge out in San Diego, California. They're going to be huge here in San Antonio, Texas. I promise. You go once, you will want to go back again and again and again. By the way, let me let you know that the Blitz is going to be there broadcasting live on Wednesday. Wednesday coming up next week, we will be at Novo. So you can win tickets to Post Malone and Jelly Roll while we're there. So make your plans now to head out to Novo. It's right there attached to North Star Mall. You can't miss it once you get in there, and come see us. And I promise you, once you go there once, you will go many, many times. It is novobrew.com. Check it out, novobrew.com.
Our AA Best Bell Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. More behind-the-scenes access is coming up next on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a Friday on the Morning Huddle. Last Friday of football season. We'll be digging deep into the Super Bowl, Rob.
Oh, we're talking Super Bowl, but we're talking pregame, and we'll have my personal Patronus, my favorite dude of all time, Andrew Zimmerman will join us along with others. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
If you're watching football this weekend, you know how it goes. Somebody's always hungry by the first quarter. So call Pizza Hut and get the Big New Yorker for just $10. Our biggest pizza for the biggest games. These slices are huge, like use two hands and fold it huge. Feed your crew and order ahead at pizzahut.com or in the app.
Pizza Hut!
Ask for limited time offer. Prices, participation, and availability may vary. Additional charge for extra toppings, max 3 and extra cheese. Taxes, tip, and delivery fee not included.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1073. 800-499-1073. 800-499-1073.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Tax free edition only. Roughly 37% of filings qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. Now this is tax.
Love that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax Free Edition. See if you qualify at TurboTax.com/free. No schedules except for Earned Income Tax Credit, Child Tax Credit, Student Loan Interest, and Schedule 1A.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the big game in Silicon Valley, and the only local station bringing you exclusive wall-to-wall coverage from the Bay Area. All brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. We're live from Radio Row with insider interviews, breaking stories, and all the pregame excitement leading up to the superb Owl. From the biggest names in sports to behind-the-scenes access, we've got it all. Your AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Your front row seat to the backstage action, live from the Bay Area, is 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Oh, Thursday afternoon, we're getting closer and closer and closer to Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. It's going to be fantastic. Can't wait for that. In the meantime, we're out on Radio Row. AA Best Bail Bonds providing that. We appreciate it. I'm Joe Reinagle here in studio in San Antonio. Jason Minix is out in San Francisco. And Jason, you were kind of squirming in your chair there for a minute. What was going on? You okay?
What do you mean I was squirming in my chair?
Dude, you were squirming around and like doing a potty dance or something.
I don't know what you're speaking of, my friend.
Everybody saw it.
No idea whatsoever.
Man, it looked like it hurt.
Dude, it was getting to the point. because, I mean, it's nonstop here. I mean, you probably, I don't know, peed 3 or 4 times in the last 2 hours.
But
I know
at
you.
least, yeah.
As you know, when you're on Radio Row, you have no time. And the distance in which the bathroom is, but with back-to-back guests, there ain't no time to go. And then you're right. And then, we went really, I don't know, about 10 minutes longer with Michael Irvin than what we had scheduled and what my bladder was thinking. It was time to go. I had to go.
I love that with Michael Irvin. And you said his handler said we're already 10 minutes behind.
Yeah, we were the first interview for him of the day, and he's 10 minutes behind. Although they know with the Playmaker, you don't schedule too tightly, you know what I mean? But we are the only local show that he is doing. Everything else that he's doing out here is national platforms.
Well, that's great, and he was fantastic, no question about that. So looking forward to Emmitt Smith tomorrow. That's going to be a lot of fun. And it's been a lot of fun. Another successful Radio Row, I would say, guest wise, and just the coverage part of it. So well done.
Well, I appreciate it. And again, you think about everything about Radio Row, and Emmitt tomorrow will be great. What CD Lamb told us yesterday is always. I say always. It was very interesting. It will be interesting to see how it plays out. Even hearing Michael Irvin talk about George Pickens and his situation. I'd be curious to see what Emmitt has to say about that as well when we talk with him tomorrow at 2:00 to kick off the show.
Well, I'm interested in that. And I was really happy that Michael went and said what he said about Micah Parsons, because I think when push comes to shove, and I think fans of the Dallas Cowboys were so upset they didn't see it, but he had a deal. He could have stayed in Dallas, and he let his feelings get in the way. And that's, Micah Parsons has got to grow up a little bit. And that's what Michael suggested that George Pickens do now is grow up a little bit, realize where he's at and what he can be as a wide receiver with the Dallas Cowboys.
One of the things that Michael said that I'm curious, he and Jerry Jones, they got a long history. When Michael Irvin said Micah Parsons' biggest problem is he let another man make his decision.
Yep.
That's what agents are for. We know Jerry wants to talk face-to-face with the guy that's going to get that big money. Other people can work out the details, if you will, with the agent. And, and Michael said the only guy that won there is the agent.
Yeah.
I know Michael's agent. Michael has multiple agents for different things that he does, or an agency that has different people that, depending on what so he's in a world where he has agents. But it also tells me, at least with Michael, ultimately he's going to make the decision. Agent can lay out the various options, but Michael's got to make the best decision for Michael Irvin. And his perspective as a man at his age now versus when he was in his 20s and playing is probably very different, because Michael Irvin has benefited greatly for staying in Dallas and winning Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
And the amount of money that he continues to be able to generate for himself because of his affiliation with the Dallas Cowboys. If you bounce around and you look around, I know you can, there's players from all over, but it seems like if you played for the Cowboys, you will be able to make money for the rest of your life.
Well, there's no doubt, even if you don't win a Super Bowl, because obviously players the last 30 years have not. And I only bring that up because if you're a Dallas Cowboy, you're elevated already. And if you stay there your entire career, guys like CD Lamb, Dak Prescott, look at Tony Romo, and some of the others that played for the Cowboys, it's just the way that it is. You're elevated up. People want you, and that's just the way it is. And then if you win a Super Bowl like Michael Irvin did, 3 of them, then it's even more. It's on steroids that way. So it's just being a member of the Dallas Cowboys. And I think Micah Parsons, he forgot about that. Now, granted, he made a lot more money, but is that just for now and not thinking about the future?
Well, see, and that's it. And granted, it's like it was going to be life-changing money, and he does go to an organization with Green Bay that has a history. So, Micah podcasting, whatever, his ability to make money for the rest of his life, who knows? But you stay with one team, and if you're a part of that team that gets the Cowboys to the Super Bowl, my goodness, the statues and the revenue would never end. You look at Michael, Emmett, Troy, Daryl Johnston, Darren Woodson, go back, Drew Pearson, Roger Staubach. If they don't win Super Bowls, are they as famous as they are now in Cowboys lore? Probably not.
Nah, probably not. And any Cowboy team and players that win the next Super Bowl, whenever that happens, will be legends. They will be Cowboy legends. And so it's incredible how that works. And Michael Irvin knows that. Look, Michael Irvin is probably as close to Jerry Jones as any of the former players are. And he knows him inside and out. And he understands Jerry a lot better than a lot of us do.
Well, that part is very, very true. I can't wait to watch The White House on Netflix. Now, you're a country music guy.
I am, yes.
All right, so Luke Bryan, apparently his wife had a baby, so he's dropped out of the Madden Bowl tomorrow. He's been replaced by Zach Bryan. Zach Bryan good?
Isn't that Zach Bryan? Isn't that chicken fried?
No, that's Zach Brown.
Zach Brown.
That's something in the orange, Zach Bryan.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, he's good, of course.
All right, well, I mean, so it's Zach Bryant, Teddy Swims, Gavin Attic, Russell, I don't know. It'll be fun tomorrow.
Teddy Swims is good. He's Teddy Swims. He's not a country guy, but he's good.
All right. I'll check him out. What
about Green Day?
That is Green Day. I'm working on it, dude. Green Day is playing the FanDuel thing tomorrow at a very small venue, and you can't even buy tickets for the deal that Green Day and the Counting Crows are doing tomorrow. So I'm going to go see country unless something really cool happens between now and then. I'm working on it, but that's what's on tap for us. And we got the cigar party, but you know what we do every Thursday about this time?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
It is time for What's on Tap, presented by Sam's Burger Joint. Online, samsburgerjoint.com, where you can get your tickets, see their entire lineup and their menu. At Sam's Burger Joint tonight, they have Cashed Out, Nick Parr, and the Selfless Lovers on Friday night. Bloody Cape, a Deftones tribute on Saturday, and Live and Local with Jay Pablo next Tuesday.
Other things going on tonight at the Aztec Theater, an evening with Caifanes. I hope that's how you say that. Majestic Theater, Gypsy Kings, featuring Nicholas Reyes. The Vandaliers are at the Stable Hall at the Pearl. The Rah Rah Room, I have no clue where that is, but Chuck Vance.
It's over on San Pedro.
All right, Chuck Vance presents Locals Helping Locals. Honey Bunny, The Westway, Powdered, Wig Machine, and a whole bunch of other people there. Pix Bar has International Night featuring Decibel, and Ellen Skirmetti is going to make you laugh at the LOL Comedy Club.
Yeah, and that deal down there at the Rah Rah Room, good local talent getting a chance to shine. If you're looking for something to do tonight, be a lot of fun. What the hell is this? Fury Fighting Championship 115 happening at the Boeing Center at Techport. The Serpents Tour is at the Stable Hall at the Pearl. Monty Montgomery Friday night out at Floors Country Store. Ken Foe at Green Hall. Joe Coy at the Moody Center. Passing Strangers at Pix Bar.
It's always good at Pix Bar, Passing Strangers. Frostbank Center on Saturday night. Spurs taking on the Dallas Mavericks. They'll be in town. George Lopez is at the Majestic Theater Saturday night. Let's see. Floors Country Store Saturday is Max Stalling. The Aztec Theater has Jeff Tate's Operation Mindcrime, the final chapter. Green Hall, Cody Canada, and The Departed on Saturday night. That'll be a hell of a show. You got Napoleon Dynamite live on Saturday night out at the Charlene McCombs Empire Theater. Norma Jean at the Rock Box, and Finding Friday at Pix Bar on Saturday night.
Yeah, Sunday we're all going to be watching the Super Bowl. So looking ahead, Jordan Minor Trio is playing at Green Hall on Monday night when you're hungover trying to recover.
Absolutely, and looking forward to that. You know, there isn't a whole heck of a lot going on Sunday.
There shouldn't be.
People know. They absolutely know.
People know. What's on tap brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint online at samsburgerjoint.com.
All right, Minix, tomorrow's going to be a cherry on top of what's been a great week. Emmitt Smith kicks off the show tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Looking forward to that, certainly. Pledge, you got a show tonight? James Pledge, your extra innings with Pledge. That's coming up next. Be sure and join the fellas in the morning and can ask Rob about his ice cream. The Morning Huddle, they get started at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and Minix and I will be back here at 2 again with Emmitt Smith at 2 o'clock. That'll do it for us today. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
Our AA Best Bail Bonds radio row coverage live from San Francisco is brought to you in part by Smoky Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork.